We're built as the fastest game of foot.
I love the run and gun.
Keep your eyes on the ball. I hope to lead this 1997 Syracuse lacrosse team back to Memorial Day.
We don't have a lot of heroes in this game.
The dynasty keeps on going.
Super Sports presents NCAA Lacrosse. Tonight, from the Carrier Dome on the campus of Syracuse University, it's a battle of the lacrosse titans. Virginia, ranked number 2, a Final Four team from last year, takes on the Syracuse University Orangemen, ranked number 3 in the preseason U.S. ILA poll. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to another season of Super Sports and SU Lacrosse. This is Dave Ryan alongside my broadcast partner, Dale Drypolster. And Dale, could you ask for a better first game of the year? Number 2 against number 3, both teams powerhouses in the game of lacrosse.
You're absolutely right. It's going to be a great showdown. And the first game is kind of the optimum word because both coaches, they've played. They haven't really come up against anybody else. No scrimmages to speak of. They say, what are we going to come up with? What are we going to do? What kind of a game are we going to play? So first game is a real key word here.
It's going to be an interesting opener. As usual for Syracuse, close defense, Dale, is a big question. 3 new starters. Sam Boland starting his first game ever as a collegiate tonight.
Well, it seems the last couple of years, Coach Simmons has had some problems just getting the defense oriented early. This is going to be a real big test, as you said. This Virginia team is hot, and that new Syracuse defense is going to have their mettle tested tonight.
And the Cavaliers, ranked number 2 in the nation, Dale, loaded at attack. First and foremost, Doug Knight set a school record a year ago, 56 goals against the opposition. He's something else.
And you know, he had 8 against Syracuse last time out. The guy can just flat out play lacrosse. He's big and strong, and of course, he's the guy that the Syracuse coaches are saying, this is the one guy we got to stop, but they've got others.
And for Syracuse, playing so well a year ago at midfield, co-middie of the year, Casey Powell, now he's back on attack. Watch out defenses.
You know, I think he's going to feel a little bit more comfortable there. Everybody said, you know, he didn't mind the change, and I'm sure he didn't, but I think we're going to see a little bit more output out of Casey Powell on the attack.
Now, a couple of years ago, Dale, Virginia came in here in the first ever meeting between these two teams at the Carrier Dome and really put a whipping on Syracuse 15-7. The players and coaches who were here then remember that game a lot now.
Well, that's a motivational tape. That's one of those things you sit down and you show the guys. These guys can play lacrosse as they know, but you know what? We're in our own home. We got to do a better job than we did last time here. And as you said, just a dominating team. You know, we've talked about Virginia's offense. One thing defensively, they stole the kid Tommy Smith, who's an All-American defenseman from Fayetteville Manly's High School. He's going to be starting. So they got All-Americans all over the field.
A lot of local products from Central New York to keep an eye on it. We're looking forward to our face-off. It's coming up right here on Super Sports. Number 2 against number 3. Big-time college lacrosse comes your way right here on Super Sports. Our face-off on the way right after these words. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone, to the Carrier Dome on the campus of Syracuse University. 1997 SU Lacrosse here on Super Sports. First of 8 games in the regular season we'll be showing, and it is a dandy indeed for the debut. Starters, first of all, visiting UVA on attack, and these guys are good, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Doug Knight, Mike Watson, and Drew McKnight are on attack. David Curry, David Wren, and Tucker Radabaugh on midfield. And on defense, Tommy Smith from Fayetteville Manly's High School, first-team All-American a year ago, joined by Carl Zeller and Darren Mahoney. In goal, Chris Sanderson started all games last year in the regular season for UVA. They went all the way to the final game. In 1996, lost in overtime to Princeton University down at College Park. And for Syracuse, on attack, Rob Cavett, Casey Powell back on the attack, and Doug Jackson, DJ from JD High School in the Syracuse area. Ryan Powell will start at midfield, the freshman from Carthage, Paul Carcaterra, and Kutaya from Homer. On defense, Rule, McCartan, and Volin all starting their first games, and Jason Gebhardt from West Genesee is in goal. Jason Gebhardt coming off a solid 1996 season. He went 11-3. Head coaches, first for UVA, Dom Starsia. 5th season, excellent record. 3 straight years they've gone to the Final Four, and we are underway. First possession, Dale, the game goes to Virginia.
Syracuse lost the face-off, and Virginia right away sprints down into the Syracuse zone.
Doug Knight, number 7, big player to watch on offense. He is dangerous. David Wren, number 2, a player who we're told Syracuse will try to put a long stick on throughout this game tonight and check him out of anywhere near the crease. Good defense for Syracuse. Josh Rule, 6'5" on long stick, giving the Cavaliers a hard time. Wren winds up, shot is high over Jason Gebhardt, out of bounds. And UVA will back it up.
McKnight's going to take the ball in from behind. He's matched up with Josh Rule. Rule, 6'5", 230, big kid.
So McKnight triggers play in front. One-timer score! Doug Knight very quickly gives the Cavaliers a 1-0 lead. We mentioned he burned the orange for 8 goals a year ago. Didn't take long, Dale, 46 seconds.
He's guarded by Volan, 41, and he just gets around a pick. Beautiful pick set by number 4 by Watson, and he just came off the pick, and he really didn't have to do too much. He was right on top of the goalie, so Knight up with his first goal with, 46 seconds gone.
School record 56 goals, school record 86 points a year ago for Doug Knight. Faceoffs is going to be a big factor to watch in this game. Tim Burns, a freshman from Baldwin, New York on Long Island, is taken. There he is, getting knocked down to the turf by Wren.
Syracuse, now they're going to come up with it. Rule's going to come up with it. He better give it to the goalie.
First clear attempt now for the Orange, trying to get it out of their own zone.
This
Very
will test,
early, 1-0 game.
This will test a young defense, having to clear the ball, and that's exactly what point I was trying to make. Is this is the kind of thing when you have not worked a lot together, just in practice. When you get in a game, it's tough, and they throw away the first clearing opportunity to give the ball back to Virginia.
Very quick sub for Syracuse coming into the lineup. Marshall Abrams, another freshman on long stick, and Coach Simmons told us before the game he would see action very quickly, and sure enough, there he is out there. Didn't take long. Tucker Radabaugh brings into the offensive zone. Whip shot that goes right through the crease and wide to the left of Gebhardt.
Well, Gebhardt is the known quantity as you look at Virginia. He is a guy who I was very impressed with how he came along last year, was a stopper, and then he really ended up making great outlet passes as the season progressed and became a part of the transition offense by getting the ball out.
Shots early. Look at that. UVA's ripped off 3. Syracuse has not had possession in the offensive zone yet. David Wren, quick shot. Bouncer got the pipe. Comes all the way out toward the UVA bench. Foot race for it. And Virginia gets it back. Good hustle by the Cavaliers.
Whoever's closest to it when it goes out of bounds gets it, and no matter where it goes, watch it, because it's going to bounce off that left pipe, and up it goes, and went almost to the midfield where Virginia was closest to it when it went out of bounds, and they get another chance.
Radabaugh to David Wren. They'll work the ball around the perimeter. Virginia ranked number 2 in the nation preseason. Dangerous team. Speaking of danger, here he is in the form of Michael Watson. And a slow whistle penalty going to be against Syracuse. So a man up coming here. Watson driving, and on that play, as he leaps and shoots in one motion, fires it over the goal and Jason Gebhardt, but a penalty coming up against Syracuse.
He's going to give him a minute for a slash, so that'll be a minute penalty, and that hurts. You're going to see right there, kind of got the free arm, and that cost him a minute.
Chris McCartan is the guilty party. McCartan, believe it or not, was cut from the team by Roy Simmons a couple of years ago, and he was actually on the forward side of things. 27th season for the Hall of Fame coach. The record speaks for itself. 6 national championships.
Talk a little bit about this man-down defense. That's a tough thing, too, when you got a lot of new people. Talking to Kevin Donahue and some of the other coaches, they said that is really a difficult situation to be in because it's such a disciplined thing, and Syracuse using a lot of new people on the man-down.
David Curry, number 31, Dale's at the point. Keep an eye on him in addition to David Wren. Curry, cross, field pass. Sharp angle shot from Watson, and a good job by Gebhardt. Then after the fact, got a penalty coming up. This call looks like it's against Virginia. And a slash against the Cavaliers, against Dom Star's squad.
Here's the shot, going to come up, nice save. And there's the slash right there on Watson's. He just slashed the free arm from behind. Actually was not a good slash at all. He couldn't do anything about it. The goalie already had the ball. So Syracuse now has 24 seconds left in their first penalty, and they're going to get a minute, so they'll be even up for 36 seconds, and then Syracuse will go man up for 24. So
the offensive star Watson in the box for the next 60 seconds, and finally SU in possession. First try, Jackson in front, scores! Doug Jackson lights up the UVA defense and ties this game up. 12:02 to go in the first period.
Well, you know, they were even there. You'd think Syracuse might have tried to wait a little bit and see they get the man advantage, and they went right at him with Jackson, and I don't blame him. Jackson went up high, came down low, and he really got a good shot off. Good penetration. You're going to look at it again. The penetration, when you can get in that close without having a stick on your stick, it's tough. And Jackson, 1 goal and 1 point for Syracuse.
And Dale, in that 17-15 loss at Charlottesville, opened up the 96 season. Face-off numbers dead even so far. Doug Jackson was 1-0 for 1 point, so he's already equaled that first Syracuse possession. Holding call.
Yeah, no possession, so it'll lose possession, and Virginia will get possession.
And very quickly, the Cavaliers will trigger action. They are dangerous. They love to run and gun, score a lot of goals. Piled up 17 on the Orange last year. 15 here at the Dome in 95. Syracuse in that same season got some revenge, though, at the Final Four. And really whipped Virginia. Took it by 7 goals down at College Park on the way to the national title. Beat Maryland in the championship game. Here come the Cavs again, though. A lot of trouble. Good poke check from behind. Syracuse going to get it out of there. Alexander with a good effort. Oh, is he crushed on the near side penalty. Flag flies. What a hit put on him by Tucker Radabaugh. Oh, my goodness. Alexander was hammered.
Yes, he was. Unfortunately for Radabaugh, it was right in the back. And that was a spectacular looking hit, but that's going to cost 30 seconds. They're going to give him a push. Yeah. You know, if that's a push, that's a dandy. That's a heck of a push.
So have to pry that mouth guard out of your mouth and the helmet there after that hit.
Little titanium burn on his back. At any rate,
smoked him.
Yep. Syracuse will be up by for 30 seconds.
Alexander D. Midian, faceoff specialist from West Genesee High School. So Syracuse will trigger play. Ryan Powell at the point. #1 from West Carthage. Younger brother of Casey, and fans in this part have waited a long time to see these two play on the same field together. Jackson behind the cage, wrapping around. Sharp angle shot. Powell knocked down by Sanderson. Chris Sanderson, starting goalie for UVA, makes a great play.
Left-handed goalie makes a nice save. Now looking for the outlet. Just gets it out. They're still counting. They do clear the ball.
Long pass upfield. Good job to get in the offensive zone. Drew McKnight is hit hard. Volan was all over him. And a push call against Syracuse. UVA will get it right back.
Syracuse gets Powell out. Defensive man in. That's Ryan Cummings coming in, #7.
From Nottingham High School, another local product. Right in front. Big shot goes wide.
That was a substitution shot, actually, because they had Syracuse trying to get Cummings in. They had a man open for a second. They got the ball to him. Fortunately for Syracuse, it went wide.
And Cummings told us before the game, Dale, that player, Drew Melchione, #23, big key for Syracuse to try to keep on the field as long as possible on faceoffs and tire him out. And there he is, 23, working hard to the left of Gebhardt. Push there. Rule is just shoved down by Melchione, and Volan grabs it back for the Orange. Gebhardt fires his pass to Saccharin. Too high, though. What a break. Comes to Powell. Casey is in. One-on-one. Scores! Casey Powell gets the bounce. And on this fast track at the Dome, he'll take it. 2-1 Syracuse.
That's called making something out of nothing, as Gebhardt made a pass to the midfield. It bounced high. Powell got it on the run, and they were not able to pick him up. Obviously, it was an unsettled situation, but it came off a pass where somebody missed it. And here he is going to finish it off, and he puts it up in that right-hand corner as you look at it. So Powell up with his first goal, 2-1 now for Syracuse, but bad pass by Gebhardt or bad assignment. Somebody was missing in the middle. Syracuse up with a faceoff.
And Burns wins the faceoff, Dale, for the Orangemen. They'll bring it to the offensive end and get things set up. Rob Kavovit, team's leading scorer from last year. #15 has got the ball behind the cage. Going counterclockwise, he is dangerous. Kavovit streaking in, and there's a push. What do we have? Violation going against Syracuse.
Yeah, he must have pushed off. He must
they be a warning call.
Yeah, warning call.
Possession call. So UVA and Tommy Smith from Fayetteville Manlius. Bounce pass there. Dangerous play. Intercepted by Jackson. Feeds ahead. Powell scores! Casey Powell couldn't believe his luck. He was so wide open Easy score, the laser beam shot over Sanderson's shoulder, 3-1 Syracuse.
That's a deuce for him on broken plays, and he just picks the ball up. But one of the best things in lacrosse is being alert and knowing what to do when you get a break. Get rid of the ball, get it out of there. Doug Jackson gets it up. He sees number 22 where he was just seconds ago for his second goal, and they tried an AstroTurf pass, and they could not handle it. Powell did a great job there.
Non-AstroTurf team, at least not like the turf they have at Syracuse. Face-offs are even. This one, though, won by the Cavs.
That's hard from
They'll bring
CNS.
in, right. Young player from CNS. Shot from Melchione is a bouncer ripped wide to the right of Gebhardt.
Jason Hart, a face-off specialist, does a great job. And as we said, he's just a young kid.
Just a freshman.
Both guys young.
Watson backs into his man. Michael Watson, very dangerous. He ignited the offensive stars on attack. Melchione, open bouncer, scores! He was wide open. No one covering Melchione, and he burns the defense to make it a one-goal game.
This is an inexperienced defense. Watch Volan, 41. He comes in. Watch where the ball goes. There's nobody able to get there. Now, Volan slid over. I'm not sure that was his man. I don't want to blame him, but there was somebody open. Volan tried to get there. There was some miscommunication defensively because they had a 2-on-1, and they left him way out alone up on top.
Jason Gebhardt sees not even 6 minutes in, Dale, and we've got ourselves 5 goals already. Buckle up, folks. We're going to have this type of play for 60 minutes. Saccharin off the one face-off for Syracuse. Goes back for Kavovit. He'll reset the offense.
That was Wren that faced off, by the way. Lost it. Syracuse Kavovit's got it on the wing.
And defensive midi Harvey Saccharin from West Genesee came up with a loose ball. Ryan Powell
hit it in his hand.
Hit it with his hand, that's right. And that's a violation against the Orange. He slipped on the turf.
Just got their offensive guys in, and now they turn the ball over. You know, the way they've changed these rules a little bit over the years, you've got to be able to play both ends and fast. You've got to be able to make the offense-defense transition.
Tommy Smith with a long stick. Started every game last year for Virginia. Now he brings it to the offensive zone, but wait a minute. Too many guys. That's going to be an offside call against UVA.
That's an early season mistake right there, Rhino. It's just a question of nobody, communication not quite down yet. Ira Vanderpool, right?
That's right, and Matt Keown with the long hair flowing out of the helmet. Number 16, first time we're going to see him in the lineup. He's a freshman from Yorktown, another top recruit. Here he is at the top of the box. Good pass for Carcaterra in traffic. He was checked. And the ball skipping out to the near side. Carcaterra with a big time push on his man. It goes right down. Nailed Radabov from behind. Maybe a little payback there.
Well, what goes around comes around, and they're going to lose the ball. That's actually the most important thing for Syracuse. You're going to see the hack right there. Nice one. That was a good illegal push.
Powell on the left wing. Good pass. Vanderpool. One-timer scores! Ira Vanderpool ripples the net. Great pass, Casey Powell. Last year, he fed a lot of people, Dale. This year, he's scoring, doing everything.
He's doing everything, and one of the things they've been doing is going high on Sanderson. Right-handed shot, high on him, and that's the third time in a row. Now, granted, the first two were unsettled situations. This one he had a beat on, but he just didn't stop it high. Vanderpool, 1 goal for tonight. A guy who can run and run real well. Syracuse able to do the short game tonight.
2 goals last year down in Charlottesville in that loss. Face-offs are even after a rough start for the Orange. Syracuse has come back.
Ran out again.
Alexander able to come away with the ball off the face-off. Matt Alexander from West Genesee.
They had him double-teamed. There should be somebody open.
Somebody's wide open. It's Ryan Powell, but Kavik can't handle the ball behind the cage, out of bounds. And Virginia gets it back. Roy Simmons' team with a turnover.
You know, one of the subtleties of the game is getting your people in and out. And you get a wide shot, you can see people running like heck to get in and out of that box because you can get a jump on somebody like that. Syracuse had a man open on a double team, but they threw the ball away and they lost the opportunity. Ground balls up Syracuse 9-5. That's a good statistic at this point because sometimes they're not very telling. This one is. Syracuse has dominated the ground balls and gotten a couple of goals off of ground balls. Another bad pass.
Carl Zeller, a turnover with that long stick. Alexander, the intercept at midfield. Syracuse will get some more offensive players onto the field now. Set things up. Orangeman in the offensive end. Matt Kutaya from Homer had a good freshman season. He was an attackman in high school as well for the Trojans. He's switched to midi now. Kavovit in the offensive end. He and Powell will be the dominant players on attack all year long for the Orange. Casey Powell, great move on Smith. In traffic, check from behind. Powell still has it, charges! And a save
nice
made
save.
Sanderson. It denies Casey Powell. Great stop. Radabaugh the outlet. He'll sprint to the offensive end. And here's Watson. They'll work it now to the offensive zone. Knight scored right off the bat for UVA. Tucker Radabaugh. Player to watch in addition to Wren, who charges in. Left-handed shot. Changes direction. Checked by two players. Comes to Watson. Bounce pass behind the cage. Up top. Watson picks it off. Charging in. Good move. Splits the defense. Scores! What a move by Michael Watson. Lunging forward somehow. Able to squeeze off the shot. It's a bullseye for Virginia goal.
It all starts. Syracuse got beat out on top, and now he just splits the two defenders, able to keep his stick protected, and as he goes down, he takes a heck of a shot, Dave. And you're not going to see any better than that. There's that hack right there, but watch him keep his stick away. Just at the last minute, he's able to get the shot. Gebhardt can't track it down. 4-3, Syracuse up by 1.
In the final game down at College Park, Michael Watson had a career-high 5 goals against Princeton in that overtime loss. He had a goal and 5 assists against Syracuse last year at Virginia. Great move by Ryan Powell into the offensive end. Syracuse on the attack. Charging in, that bounce shot from behind penalty. Late flag dropped. Good effort there from Tim Burns, the freshman on attack.
That was a good call. He just couldn't get his flag out. That's going to be a technical. Steve Miller, the official, right on it, and it was, as I said, there's the push. He was going for his flag, couldn't get it, and then they made the vice and kind of crushed him, but Syracuse will get a man-up opportunity now, 30 seconds.
Carl Zeller, the guilty party, in for pushing. 30-second technical call. Junior from Lutherville, Maryland. And the orange on man up will trigger the play. So far, 0 for 1. Second opportunity. Paul Carcaterra, number 19. One of the tri-captains this year.
Oh, knocked down, actually, by Virginia stick.
Doug Jackson regains. He scored early for Syracuse. Lob pass. And Powell with patience. Good feed. Wide open man score! Kutaya knocks it in. And the Orangemen score again. They've got 5 goals already, still 6 minutes left in the first.
Great man-up job because there's always going to be somebody open. They're down a man, but they run a sliding defense and they get their sticks up. They had knocked a pass down previously, but not this time. They get it across to Kutaya, and you know, when you get the ball in that close, you're at the mercy, if you're the goalie, of the attack man, and Kutaya does not disappoint with a left-handed shot. He slides, Sanderson does, but it's too late. There he is out of Homer.
13 goals, no assists last year for Kutaya. Already on the board this season. Matt Wilson, junior midi from Wilton, Connecticut. Not very frequently seen here. Watson is open, bounce shot, skips a bit wide. Watson going low on a crank shot and try to bounce that one by Gebhardt. He's already got 1 goal tonight.
They're whistling it right back in. They are playing fast lacrosse.
They're not going to waste any time. Jay Jalbert, number 10. Scores! Screen shot. I'm not sure Gebhardt saw a lot of that one. And Jalbert, right off the bench, whistles one home for a goal.
Matt Alexander was on him with a short stick. Watch what happens. He just misses him, and he's got a crank shot from about, what, 15 yards, and that's a tough one. Gebhardt, you can see it from his view, just couldn't get a stick on it. Made the move, so Jalbert brings him back to within 1 at 5-4. That did not take long off a kind of unsettled situation after the faceoff.
They've got a very deep midfield, Dale, no question. Faceoffs still belong to Syracuse. Jason Hard, we talked about the freshman from CNS. Curry, Wren, Radabaugh. Mike Leahy from West Genesee we haven't seen yet. He's an outstanding player. And then we just saw Jalbert with a big goal.
These faceoffs have been hotly contested. It takes a long time. Kavovit just...
Flags go down from all over the field. Dave Baruch was the player nailed. Kavovit involved, and Roy Simmons not approving of the call.
Well, let's see what happens. That faceoff got knocked out to the side, got the stick, and then followed through with the body. That's a tough call. So Kavovit will sit for 30.
Technical 30 call against the Orange, and their captain, the senior from Yorktown Heights. Now UVA man up. Knight, Watson, David Wren, all dangerous players. Watson behind the goal. Knight is set up. Shot, top of the box. Whoa, rings right off the pipe again. That was David Curry's blast on the bouncer. Second pipe that UVA has gotten in the first quarter here. And Curry regains to Watson. Low pass, Knight. Good move. Oh, Doug Knight shoved out. Goes right to Wren. Bouncer save, Gebhardt. Jason Gebhardt comes up big. Saccharin regains. Gets away from a double team. Harvey Saccharin back to his goalie. Former teammates at West Genesee High School. Up for Kutaya. They'll bring into the offensive zone. Syracuse trying to take care of an unsettled situation. Kutaya, sharp angle shot, knocked down by Sanderson. Kutaya regains. At the goal line, Casey Powell. The right-handed cradle, Tommy Smith on him. That's the matchup we've been waiting for. One to watch. Good end zone look. Camera behind the UVA goal. Ira Vanderpool on the right side. Charging, scores! Ira Vanderpool. He's done it again. Little belly bumping with Rob Cavett, his second goal of the night. Syracuse has put 6 on the board.
That's the 4th time they've beaten Sanderson high on the offside as the left-handed goalie. Watch where it goes. They are going to the offside. And Ira Vanderpool gets his second and takes Syracuse back to a 2-goal lead. So Sanderson having a little bit of trouble with those high shots, and we are still 4:18 left in the first quarter.
Faceoffs are back to being even. UVA trying to break that trend, and they will. Jason Hart from CNS wins in front. Knight diving, scores. Wait a minute, crease violation. No goal for Doug Knight. He crossed the line, made contact before he shot it.
It was a great pass. Watch the pass. Underhand pass, just a super job.
Oh, yeah. Awfully close. May have dragged actually the stick before he fired it. Near breakup. Syracuse just hurls the ball freely into the offensive end. There was a push and contact. And Doug Jackson, who lost his stick, can't believe the call. He was the one who went down on the field, but he's called for a push. Crease violation again, Dale.
See it right?
Yeah, he dragged the stick. Good call. In front, a shot goes through, and Cummings regains, goes back to his goalie, Jason Gebhardt. Now the Orange and Volan will try to move out of their own defensive end, clear the ball out.
Yeah, they got some time. They just did not failure to advance. I was going to say
you were on that one.
Yep.
Josh Rule couldn't pass it.
And they just started again.
Quickly, Knight fires a shot. Bouncer, score!
That's inexperience.
Doug Knight.
Not getting back on time. They blew the whistle, started that one, and Josh Rule still had his back to the bench. Watch, they just got to hop on this, and there's the left-handed shot. And Gebhardt, you're going to get a good look at him here. Defense was not ready. They were actually walking away, and Doug Knight up with his second goal.
Dale, pardon the pun here. I know it's the first game of the year, but what a nightmare for Gebhardt to have to see him come one-on-one, basically, unscathed by the defense. One of the best, if not the best, attacker in the nation. He scored 2 tonight.
And this game is young. We're still in the first quarter.
Wow, a lot of action. 6-5 game. Radebaugh helped bring the ball in the offensive end. Drew McKnight and Wren will work the ball around the perimeter. David Curry on the right wing. Syracuse has the D middies in, trying to stop this UVA attack. Watson and Radebaugh. And a freshman, Burns, is on Radebaugh. That's an interesting matchup to watch. Tim Burns. David Wren, top of the box. And now Virginia, kind of out of character, slowing things down a bit. Curry with a move. Behind the goal for Watson. Back for Wren. And again, they'll slowly work it around the perimeter, trying to get off a good shot. Curry with a spin move. Still holds. Curry, bounce shot goes through. Good defense. Kutaya from behind had him tied up.
Good point. Got his stick on his stick, made him shoot wide. But the ball will be retained. Let's see what the call is.
Syracuse is trying to bring a substitute in. Alexander and Cummings are trying to come on for the Orange.
Syracuse a little concerned about how fast this game is being whistled back into play, and they're trying to get a horn here to get a sub in, and they do get 2 guys in as they getting set to start again. But Alexander gets in and Cummings gets in. Virginia up 16-10 in the shot department.
2:25 to go, first quarter. Already 11 goals scored in the game tonight. Now we've got a technical call against Syracuse, and you heard John Desko, the SU assistant, and Laddie Horrell also, along with Roy Simmons, the coaching staff, saying why, what happened?
That's Joe Mars.
That's your fault, not our fault. Can't penalize because you know what's going on. Let's go. Because you know
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said. Did they wave this off? What's going on?
That's where he has the ball. That's where he has the ball. That's not the end line. That's the
See if we can hear from the officials as to the exact call.
Well, you're not going to.
Yeah.
And Syracuse is down. 30 seconds.
And Cummings is in the box for what appears to be an illegal substitution. We'll have to make sure we get that straightened out at the end of the quarter. Wren, top of the box. Knight. Cross-field fast pass for Watson. It's deflected, goes right behind the goal. And off Tucker Radabaugh's knee.
Stays Virginia.
All right, Devin Ackerman with a good shove behind on Michael Watson. So far, UVA has not converted with a man advantage. Got a few more seconds here. 2 minutes straight up to go first quarter. Watson on the wing.
Now here's right now the penalties expired, but this is where it gets dangerous.
Kataya comes on the field for Syracuse. Watson, cross-field pass. What a play! Knight lights it up, scores. One-timer Doug Knight on a great feed from Michael Watson, a cut and score.
It always happens when you're even, because now somebody comes over, now people are trying to find man-to-man, who am I on? And they lost number 7, and Knight just got a break from the left-hand side of your screen, and they just lost him. And he's come up with number 3 tonight for Doug Knight.
Wow. Led the NCAA, Dale, last year in points per game, 5.3. Was tied for first in the NCAA in goals per game, over 3 a game, so he's already equaled that. 56 tallies last season. Alexander battling on the far side, along with another Syracuse freshman in Marshall Abrams, number 43 with a long stick.
Big stick midi, and Syracuse is going to get the ball, and it's going to be number 18, Chris McCartan, with it.
So far, Virginia, a little more trouble than Syracuse has had with clears. Volan comes onto the field for the Orange. And Gebhardt now brings out of his own defensive zone. We got a great game, folks. No question about it. We expected this much. Pretty much a track meet, up and down. Do we have failure to advance again or a timeout? Offside call this time against Syracuse. So some trouble in their own end.
And here, once again, this game just starts right up.
This is McKnight.
Yeah, this is not a football game.
He's not going to waste any time, is he? Absolutely not.
They're making him bring it back where the ball should be, and they just kind of took advantage of it there and advanced it. Then they made him bring it back and restart.
Jalbert is now out there at the top of the box. Watson and Knight out there, of course, as well. Such a great player on offense. Skips through. Drew McKnight scoops it up with a minute to go in the period. McKnight driving. Good play by Gebhardt going low to get a piece of that one. Outlets to Kataya. Going to be double team. Watch out, physical play. He's crushed by Jalbert. Kataya tries to push him back. Jay Jalbert poked away. Good play, Saccharin. Swinging the sticks at each other. Watch it. Oh, Saccharin got called for a late push, and we've got 2 penalty flags dropped. Jalbert may be whistled as well.
Yeah, there's going to be
This is going to get ugly.
It's interesting. This game is what you say, get a little chippy there, and the fans didn't like that. They thought that he got at least held with the wraparound, and then watch, right here's where the stick is going to come in. And then there's the push from behind. Now watch the stick right there.
Saccharin indeed, the guilty party. We saw that late slash. Jalbert is in, and Saccharin, as we said, are both in the box now for a minute.
They haven't put it up yet, but there's still a... This is a great game to start off with here for the official. You get a lot of work early.
That's for sure.
A lot of explaining. Dom Starsia just making sure that who's in the box.
38 seconds left in the first quarter, and this has been a wild one. Already 12 goals on the board, handful of penalties, and 2 more. Jalbert and Saccharin, 60 seconds apiece for the slash.
Who gets the ball? That's the question.
Yeah, looks like Syracuse will have possession to start off. And that is the call. Casey Powell is right at midfield. To the right of your screen, and the S getting set to trigger play. And here we go. It's been a wild one, I tell you.
Well, now they're even, but it does open the field up a little bit because you got 2 fewer bodies out there.
Alexander off, and Kataya's on for offense here. Powell, a couple goals, takes a high slash to the face from Smith. No call. Saw his head snap back. Casey Powell on the left side. Good spin move. Now left-handed cradle. Casey backing in on Smith. All-American and All-American. Great play. Jackson in front, scores! Doug Jackson again goes high on Sanderson, the UVA goalie. 7-6 Syracuse, his second of the game.
Once again, he makes a nice pass. Jackson takes his time when he comes up. Waits. High offside on the left-hander, and that's the 5th goal they've gone high in to the offside on. Look at it right here. Jackson, look at him move his way in. Doesn't even take that hard a shot. So Jackson 2-1 on the evening. 3 points.
Casey Powell 2-2 already. Great start. Returning to the attack. 10 seconds left. Face-off the same as the score, except UVA has the lead. 13 goals already put in.
Delay of game was the call. It's against Syracuse.
Alexander wondering exactly why.
Well, you got a little beeper there. You got a certain amount of time to get the ball in play.
Here's Knight, just a few seconds left in the period, whips a shot off, bounces wide. Good hustle by Gebhardt. Jason Gebhardt out of his own crease, closest to it with 2 ticks left. Syracuse gets it back. Nice play. He'll just loft it all the way downfield. And that'll do it for a wild first quarter from the Dome. Doug Knight, big game already, a hat trick. Virginia hanging in with number 3 Syracuse after 1 quarter. A big crowd of the Dome enjoying NCAA Lacrosse here on Super Sports. Syracuse a 7-6 lead. Second quarter action coming up. Welcome back, everyone. Start of the second quarter. Dale, catch your breath, all right?
Absolutely.
You get a chance in the commercial break there? A wild one, 7-6. Thanks in part to Doug Jackson, the senior from JD High School. 2 big goals.
Nice feed by Powell. He gets double teamed, dumps it off on a blind pass, and watch Jackson take his time. Going to get in. I want a high offside shot, and he waits very patiently, and he gets it on Sanderson. So, as we said, they have been going high on the offside, I think, against Sanderson, and they have been successful.
Great job for the Orange also, and Doug Jackson to avoid a crease violation, something we saw Knight be guilty of earlier. So now what's Coach Desko talking about there?
Well, I'm sure he's talking about one of the things Syracuse defensively. He wants to make sure these guys get back. The officials are starting that ball right in play. A couple times Syracuse lagging around, not maybe getting back as quickly as they should. And I'm sure he's telling them, remember the basic skills. Let's be awake. Let's not make any bad mistakes. Syracuse, by the way, has come up on a couple of bad passes and put it to Virginia on 2 goals when they were unable to clear. There's the shots, 19-11. Really a lot of shots in this game. Although for Syracuse, as you look at 11, they usually take a lot more than that. As a matter of fact, they usually are around the 19 level themselves. I've been in games they've taken 85 shots.
How about that efficiency, though? 7 goals and 11 shots.
Absolutely.
I'll take
that. That's a tremendous shooting efficiency. That's, almost 700.
2 number 30s, Jason Hard, former CNS star, and Matt Alexander from Jenny will take this draw at midfield. So the face-off stat, Hard will win it. Bring into the offensive zone. Usually he skips right off the field as soon as he wins that face-off. And there he goes, he's off. McKnight comes on. Watson, not that big a player, but boy, is he quick. And we saw the tremendous feed tonight in the one-time play toward the end of the first, which was a thing of beauty. Penalties have expired, right. High play, great job to bring that one down somehow.
Powell did a great job defensively getting his stick on there.
But Melchione able to regain
Put it down
traffic. Again. He lost it. Casey Powell check from behind, and Gebhardt rakes it in.
Oh, just out of reach.
Too far, but regained. Here comes Syracuse the other way. Kavovich streaking in. Sharp angle shot. That's Doug Jackson actually on the shot. Kavovich tries to regain, and here comes Virginia. Melchione. He had 1 goal in the first quarter. Drew Melchione will slow things up a bit.
Well, there's
Feeds
a trailer.
back for Jalbert. Scores! Jay Jalbert his second goal of the night, rifles that one again high by Jason Gebhardt. This game's tied up.
Well, they brought it down, and they knew they had a trailer coming down, and Gilbert was the trailer on this. And as he comes down, watch him. He's coming down, gets the flip, doesn't get picked up until too late, and it's hard to get a shot off like that, and he did a super job. Watch how quickly and easily he gets that shot off. Extension of the wrist, ball goes right through and goes high for his second goal.
Such depth, as we mentioned, on the midfield. Gilbert, just a freshman, 6'1", 190-pounder from Lloyd Harbor, New York.
Face-off's going Virginia's way a little bit. Let's see who comes up with this one.
Burns battles hard. Bodies all over the place.
Virginia. That's
an injury for Syracuse, too. Watch out. Player just came on this year.
Big stick midi.
Abrams, Marshall Abrams. Looks like he may have turned an ankle, number 43, on that face-off play. Now UVA charging in. Wren, bounce shot. Like that may have been deflected just in front of Gebhardt by his long stick defenseman.
Harvey Saccharin, number 9.
And again, Virginia will reset. McKnight back for Knight. Left-handed cradle with Volman on him. Knight in traffic.
Nice
bounce
save.
shot, good play. Gebhardt, ball loose, and he'll rake it into his own crease, then outlet. Tim Burns on the near side, watched by Radabaugh. Harvey Saccharin cannot handle it. Kind of handcuffed him. Watson the intercept in front, wide open man. Knight scores. Doug Knight again, 4th goal of the evening, and Virginia regains the lead 8-7.
Had a problem off the pass, not able to handle this pass. Watch, there's the pass dropped by Saccharin, and you see that when Watson comes up with it, he knows how to dump it off too, and he makes a nice pass off to his teammate, Doug Knight. So Watson and Knight, 2 of the best attackmen, team up there for a nice goal. And you can see what Knight's got. He's had a full night tonight.
Yeah, the 1996 Attackman of the Year for good reason. Face-offs again, that's make it 11-6 as they win another one against the Orange. It's been a problem early in the game. Good hit, Alexander, physical play. But he's called for a push, and Virginia will keep it. Against Dave Baruch, a sophomore from Haverford, Pennsylvania. So Dom Starja, bit of emptying his bench as well. Kurt Mueller, number 9, is on.
Well, the pace is so intense, Dave. You've got to give some guys a rest.
Here's Gilbert looking for a hat trick. Bounce shot just wide. Gebhardt got a piece of that. And on back up, Dave Bruce.
You see how well Gilbert gets rid of that? He doesn't really even have to cock it. He just has got one fluid motion.
Virginia again will control. Second and third line players out there. Kurt Mueller does still have Doug Knight, though, to go to with 4 goals already in the game. Watson getting a breather. Mueller behind the cage, spinning in front, scores! Good move by Kurt Mueller, senior from Blue Bell, Pennsylvania. Making SU a little blue tonight. 2-goal UVA lead.
Ryan Cummings couldn't push him out and then couldn't get stick on. See the separation there? And when you get that much separation, he just took a big sweeping shot, and it was very difficult. Here, you're going to see it again. Right there, they slid over, made the slide, but they couldn't get on his stick, and that's going to give you an easy shot at the goal. And Mueller responds.
Now Drew Cyril, number 33, will take his first face-off of the night, and they don't win it.
Momentum starting to go from face-offs to Virginia.
Big key in the game, something we'll keep an eye on. UVA face-offs, a big dominant stat. Melchione grabbing that loose ball. They've won 6 straight draws now, Dale. Big key, certainly getting possession time and time again. Gilbert, a couple of goals already in this game. Saw a great high shot from him. And that's how he's burned Jason Gebhardt. Virginia, the offensive end. That's Mike Leahy from West Genesee High School with a shot. Gebhardt got a piece, make the save. Dangerous cross-field play. Picked off by Ira Vanderpool, has 2 goals, game of the first period. SU finally on the attack here, and their offensive end hasn't been much of that, but kind of a wild off-balance shot, and Virginia gets it back.
The problem there, not the best shot selection, and the worst part is he had no backup, Dave. So you're going to get one shot. If it doesn't go in, you're going to lose it, and that's exactly what happened.
Now Virginia will try to break out. Darren Mahoney on long stick. easily clear the ball to the offensive end without a problem. Jalbert, good move on Vanderpool. Streaking in, shot low. That time, Gebhardt is able to stop Jay Jalbert. First time he's really stopped him all game. Pass a bit too high, though, for Ryan Powell as he tried to climb the ladder. Tommy Smith, the intercept. Regained by Kavovit, charges in 2-on-1, scores!
That's a big
Rob
goal.
Kavovit tickles the twine with a big shot. Syracuse, with a huge crowd on hand for opening night 1997, pulls to within one.
Talk about getting a little bit of momentum back. Kavovit takes that nice little left-hand low burner, and he gets Syracuse back within one after they had lost 6 face-offs in a row. Watch the shot, just a dandy, right between the legs of the goalie, and Rob Kavovit comes up with a big goal at the right time. Now they got to come back, Dave, you're a Syracuse fan, got to get a face-off now. And who they got out there for the face-off? Check the number, 21.
It's been varying.
Wilson.
It's gonna be Matt Wilson,
Yep.
second time we've seen him on face-off. And this time a push call against UVA, and Syracuse gets possession
That's
off
the
the
face.
face-off.
Yep,
They'll
that's
take
the
it.
face. They'll take it. You're absolutely right. We'll take a push.
Call was on Jason Hard, number 30. Matt Keown, new face on the SU roster. Look back for someone coming off the bench who's not there, Andy Sheritz. Keown will carry in. Right-handed cradle. Keown still. Good possession. Swing move to go to the left hand. Tries a quick sharp angle shot. Goes
That's
through
a
the
pass.
crease, and unfortunately, yeah, it's not behind the line. Oh, it is, barely.
Yep.
Syracuse will keep possession, not by much. Good hustle by the senior co-captain, Rob Kavovit.
I wasn't sure whether it was a shot. If it's not a shot, it goes out of bounds, you're out of luck. If,
Yeah,
if it's a shot, you get to race toward the end, and that's exactly what Syracuse did. Take a look
Hard
at the
is
shots.
off. Look at the shots. 27.
Almost double.
Kavovit would like to change all that, and even the score. We're 9-8. Rob Kavovit backing in. Good feed for Sheritz. We'll get things reset now, top of the box. He's got Keown with him. Carcaterra, left-handed Whistler. Paul Carcaterra scores, and we are tied. 9-9. The senior, his first goal.
One of the things you like to see if you're Syracuse is watch what happens after the shot by Carcaterra. It's a great shot, but watch what the goalie does. Turn it. And you know what? That gives you a little bit of a lift because you say, we're getting to this guy, and if we can take some shots, we can win, because they had lost the momentum for about 2 or 3 minutes there when they were losing those faceoffs. But Carcaterra and Kavovit have brought them back to an even game.
Carcaterra, co-captain, that's right, 9-all, Yorktown Heights. He was a teammate in junior lacrosse all through high school with Rob Kavovit. Now the senior co-captains leading the Orange together. Tie game, thriller early in the second quarter from the Dome tonight. David Curry on the left side. Alexander will watch him. Syracuse coaches said we might see a little zone tonight. So far, we haven't seen much of it. We're thinking about surprising with Virginia with a slight zone look. So far, it's been mostly man. Good look at the defensive setup as Virginia again goes on the attack. Cavaliers shoot and score again. Number 16, Tucker Radabon, gives UVA a 1-goal lead one more time with a great move against Gebhardt.
Watch what he does. You can tell, watch the distance. All of a sudden, there's the speed. Now he's got the move right there. He's by him, and now it's one-on-one. Gebhardt comes out, but he was really at the mercy of Radabon. It's really hard to stop when you have to come out of the goal like that, and that's exactly what Radabon knew, and comes up with his first, but puts Virginia back in the lead. 10-9, folks, and this is the first half. 9:29 left in the second quarter.
Cyril tries to win the face-off for Syracuse. Saccharin taking a hack at that one. Drew Cyril just overran it, but Kavovit, sure-handed. Great stick work on a ball was zipping right through his legs, somehow regains. And Kataya will slow things down. Ryan Powell onto the field, has a man with him in Tim Lisker. He's a freshman mid. He's 6'4", a football player,
Right.
by trade as well for Syracuse.
He's out of Garden City. They play a pretty good game of lacrosse down there on Long
Also-
Island. He's a good athlete and a big addition.
Kataya pick for Powell. Oh, Ryan looking for his first Syracuse goal. Goes behind the back, a la the Gates. He and Casey pretended they were Gary and Paul Gate growing up in Carthage.
There's the shot.
Now the Orange will reset. Jackson, right-handed cradle, has a couple goals already in this game. Ryan Powell on the right side. Syracuse on attack. One thing Roy Simmons Jr. told us before the game, they really wanted to control possession and get good shots.
They have taken good shots, there's no doubt about it.
Kataya driving in, goes high on Sanderson, rebound up in the air. And Glisker couldn't come down with it. Tim Glisker taking a hack at an alley-oop type play, and Sanderson got enough of it to keep out of the cage. Now Wren will help bring it into the offensive zone. Wren knocked down. Good defensive play by Glisker, the football player, showing he can hit someone.
You mean I get to carry a stick in this game?
Curry scores! What a move by David Curry! Switching hands with a blink of an eye. And a lightning bolt wrister beats Gebhardt. Virginia takes a 2-goal lead.
Absolutely right. This is a wrist shot. He fakes right, comes back left, and once again, nobody able to get on his stick. Slide not there, goes high, and gives a 2-goal lead. You're going to look at it again from the ground, right there. Super camera work. Curry, number 31 for one. 11-9 the score.
7:53 to go in the first half. Curry, an honorable mention All-American in '96. A pile of them for Virginia.
Right.
And Hard wins the face-off for UVA. Brings into the offensive end. Now Watson will help set it up behind the goal, along with Drew McKnight, number 14.
Gilbert got a jump coming out of the box, but Syracuse picked him up. Now they settle down. But watch Gilbert. He doesn't take long to get a shot off.
He's got Knight with him. Bouncer as he tries a quick one from the right side. And a backup play made nicely by Dave Baruch, number 24 for Virginia. Gilbert, very quick release for Dom Starge's Cavaliers. Jay Gilbert, 2 goals already. Backs into the defense. Watched by Alexander at the goal line. Good feed, great play just to bring that one in from Drew McKnight. Somehow got possession, loose ball shot. Gebhardt never got to him.
No.
It was blocked first, and Cummings comes away with it. Ryan Cummings regains for the Orange, former Nottingham Bulldog with a left-hand cradle. Good
He's going to get triple teamed here if he doesn't get the ball.
Double team, someone's open, and we may have ourselves a timeout.
So Syracuse takes a timeout. I didn't know if it was one of those new 20-second ones or not. They have them now. You get 2 regular timeouts and a 20-second timeout. You have to signify. That one looks like a full timeout. So they tinker with the rules as we look at this huge crowd here at the Carrier Dome. The upper deck is usually not open, but I'll tell you what, you can tell what kind of a game it is in Central New York because this place is packed.
Great look at it there. Look at the people in this place.
Super facility for lacrosse, and boy, they're really responding tonight. And you know, they can't want for action. 20 goals in less than a half. You know, it's got to be exciting.
Coach Roy Simmons Jr. in the midst of a huddle along with assistant John Desko. Speaking of West Genesee Wildcats, a former great Jenny player and Syracuse player as well. Roy in his 27th year, Hall of Famer, winningest coach in SU history. Without surprise, the numbers are unbelievable. 268 and 90 and 6 championships.
Think of how many years as a coach, though. You don't see that very often.
Syracuse has won its last 5 home openers, but it won't be easy with some good plays by Sanderson in goal.
Yeah, Sanderson got that one, sent it way back up in the air, but watch, just one-hands it. And Sanderson not having a bad night. He's getting a little stronger as the night goes on. He was a little riled there at the last time. Let's see what Syracuse does now.
Ground ball's fairly even, but Virginia has been able in the open field to scoop up a couple of more. Vanderpool scored 2 in the first period. Mixture of speed and power. He is dangerous as a midfielder. He played attack as well in high school. Ira Vanderpool, long possession. With a right-handed cradle, backing in, diving save, Sanderson. Play made, and Zeller will try to clear it out. Here comes Virginia. With a streak of speed the other way. Malchione scored in the first quarter. Balanced scoring attack for the Cavaliers. A lot of different players are in the books already. McKnight for Watson. And slowly they'll go back to Jalbert with a possession here. It's 6 minutes remaining. First half. Leahy behind the goal. Good move by McKnight. A little stutter step. He's battling Josh Rule with a long stick. Drew McKnight back for Jalbert. Malchione is out there as well. He'll handle now outside the box. One of the longer possessions we've seen. Malchione, good play to Jalbert. Switches hands. Shot was wide. Backed up by McKnight. And through the crease they go as Watson couldn't handle it. Syracuse at midfield battling Powell. And eventually Vanderpool, a good spin-around move at midfield. Fires up ahead. Too far, though, for his man, who was open, and Doug Jackson. Vanderpool, a turnover.
It's one of those good look, but not quite able to fill up the stick with the ball on the other end as it went over his head.
Sanderson will start to clear the other way from Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. Pretty effective player. Gave up a lot of goals. Got it. Looks like an offside call or a timeout. Timeout called by Virginia. And Leahy, the West Genesee product, will go back to Dom Starge's huddle and talk things over. 5:04 to go in the second. Talking about Chris Sanderson. Gave up 11 goals a game last year, which is a pretty high number on a very good team. That's the kind of pace we're seeing here tonight, Dale, for the most part. Very exciting action.
Yep, both goalies, both left-handers, they got their work cut out for them, and you got another couple of good teams coming in the next one, Yale Bulldogs.
You got it, Sunday, March 9th, 7 o'clock. On Cable 13, Super Sports. Replay of the game between Yale and Syracuse. Should be a lot of fun to watch. On Cable 13, make a note of it. 8 games this year, including tonight's action coming your way on Super Sports. Proud to bring you so many home games. A great home slate, 97 for the Orangemen.
Good look at Coach Simmons and Kevin Donahue. He said that they were going to move around with the face-offs tonight. He's got 4, 5, 6 guys he wants to try, but they knew that that hard was going to be tough for Virginia, and Virginia's done a good job.
Yeah, that guy Doug Knight, 4 goals already. Shots, how about that stat? Virginia, wow, 32-18, just dominating in that department.
Absolutely, and Syracuse, however, being very efficient, 9 goals on 18 shots. That's pretty good shooting. That's 50%, and they'll take that in a lacrosse game any day.
They're not easier if you're Jason Gebhardt, the SU netminder. It's a difficult task. His team, though, just down by 2. Plenty of time left here in the second. Curry, top of the box, will work in the offensive end. Patient attack for Virginia. Tucker Radabaugh works right around the perimeter. David Wren from Sudbury, Mass., just a junior. He'll switch spots with David Curry. Watson equivalent with a goal line. Doug Knight, very slow attack now, trying to lull the SU defense to sleep a bit. Wren now on the attack. Knight at the goal line. McKnight, spin move, bouncer, good save, Gebhardt. Outlet, fires ahead for Alexander. He's got a step on the defense. Ran a hack at it, missed it. Alexander carries. Save made, Sanderson. Alexander takes a whack at the ball in midair, backs up a shot, and Syracuse gets possession. Good effort, Matt Alexander.
That was exciting. Great hustle by Alexander, and Sanderson did a good job of get out. Coming right in now. You're going to see on the replay, ball down way up high.
Calvert flips it in midair, goes right back for Powell. Casey was explosive in the first quarter. Had 4 points, but has been shut down in the second so far. Powell, a spin move. Good feed. Lisker shot looking for his first Syracuse goal. And the rebound comes loose. Radabaugh was checked hard by Ryan Powell, but he is able to hang on to the ball. Good move, goes right by Kutaya. Tucker Radabaugh, great stick handling in the open field. That's such a big difference, clearing it right by midfield through the middies
and taking a shot
set up.
And taking a shot in the process. Took a good hit, but kept the ball.
Strength. Here's David Curry. Skips to the near side. This guy who just came into the game earlier, we saw Mueller with a goal, number 9. Came off the bench and scored one. Wren driving on that right side. Fires it through the crease, out of bounds. Good backup by UVA. David Wren denied. McKnight starts the play again. Watson backing into the defense. Quick shot. A whistle actually blew before the ball went through the crease, but just a shot is the official call.
Gives you a good idea what the goalie's got to contend with, how quickly they can get that ball in and out of their stick, and you don't think they're ready to shoot, so you have to be ready to go at all times.
This guy's a leader of the pack. 4 goals already. Doug Knight spinning on Volan. You'll see number 7 in his nightmares. This keeps up. Under 3 minutes left in the first half. Great game in front of a huge crowd. Season opener here on Super Sports. McKnight behind the goal. Falling with a long stick, trying to get him out of there. McKnight driving through. And it's going to be a push from behind. And a score as well. 30-second call rule for the shot.
Yeah, that's no goal. Push. There you go. He never saved it with his body, actually. It was a good save.
Yeah.
Get back out there real quick.
So rule breaks a rule, sits for 30.
We got to watch these play on words here.
Yeah.
Radaball with a man up. Yeah, the wrinkle in the net you saw was actually the player going right through it. McKnight's helmet and buried into the mesh.
Backside!
Oh, lost the ball.
Knight looked up just for a moment. It was checked out of his cross. Comes right back to Wren, though. 2:15 to go first half. David Curry to Watson. Tucker Radaball fires back for Watson. Good dipsy-do move. One-handed shot save, Gebhardt. Could have a crease violation. That is the call. What a move, though, by Watson, electrifying the crowd. Somehow held on to the ball in his cross. This was something to watch.
You're going to see it right here. Bang. Lost it. Where is it? There it goes. Crease violation, and the penalty was expired. So Syracuse gets a break now. A long clearing pass up the left wing. That's a defenseman with the ball.
Right, long stick Sam Bolin, and now
Timeout.
whistle and a timeout called.
20-second timeout. There you go.
We've seen that used
All
this
right,
year.
Jimmy O'Hara lets us know it's a 20-second. They put the hands on the shoulder, so this will be just a 20-second timeout. And in talking to the officials before the game, I said, what do they do that for? And he said, well, they figure most coaches are going to use it to save when you're almost out of time trying to clear the ball, that they're going to take a little 20-second timeout. You're going to see again the look at the Virginia into the crease. Jumping shot, stick on stick, bounced it out, found the fly ball, brought it back, and you can see the crease violation already indicated, and that gave Syracuse the ball. Called a timeout. Gebhardt, 8 saves. They are peppering him with shots in the first half, up over, 33 now, I believe, 33, 34 shots.
Jason in 96, his first full year as a starter, also is an honorable mention All-American. Chris Sanderson. 541 save percentage last year. Goals against 11.08. That's a high number, but can't complain with the success and the style of play. When you run and gun a lot, that might happen as well. High pace.
All of lacrosse has got that kind of pace now. Those goal against averages are going to go up.
Kavovit works on Darren Mahoney. Long stick. Powell took his eye off the ball, and Smith will take advantage of that. Tommy Smith, first team All-American, carries across midfield. Off for Watson. Smith then will clear, allow another short stick on the field for UVA. And Jalbert comes on.
They'd better gear up and cover everybody because they had some loose bodies.
Good play as they go right for Melchione. His shot goes just wide. Drew Melchione scored 1 already.
Jalbert calling for the ball way out on top, and he's dangerous. So they got Glisker on him.
Left wing goes right by his man. Jalbert fires his shot. Gebhardt got a piece right behind him. McKnight regains in front. They go score. Jalbert was right there, and he knocks it home for his 3rd goal of the game. Jay Jalbert, freshman from Lloyd Harbor, New York, has got a hat trick.
Made the initial save. Watch, couldn't find the rebound. Picked up by, was that Radaball? And then he got it back out to Jalbert. And Gebhardt was in a tough situation, and Jalbert up with his 3rd goal.
Drew McKnight actually on the feed was able to scoop it up. Yeah, right behind the goal, heads up play. So with 1:06 to go here in our half, lead up to 3 in Virginia. And Hart able to win another face-off, a clutch draw for the Cavaliers, but a turnover in the offensive zone for UVA, something they haven't done much of. Baruch lost the handle.
Got 3 guys on him.
Cummings ripped down from behind, still had the ball on his cross, and finally penalty flags come from all over the field. Ryan Cummings, great effort in the offensive end.
That's going to be a trip, so 1 minute, Syracuse will be man up. But watch the jerseys. 1, now there's 2 guys, 2 behind him, and 1 in front of him, and you got to look for somebody open there. It's tough, but he went down, and he's going to, Syracuse will get the penalty. They'll be the beneficiaries of the penalty, I should say, so they will have a minute with 47 seconds left.
And Jason Hart is in the box. Man up opportunity out for the Orange. On the trip call, Doug Jackson is set up. along with Carcaterra. Each have scored in this game. Syracuse really getting shut down, though, in the second quarter. Carcaterra, wine, fires, goes right by Sanderson. And may have gotten a piece of that. Syracuse backs it up. Kataya and Kavovit will trigger play for the Orangemen. 33 seconds left in the first half. Matt Kataya to DJ Doug Jackson. Carcaterra around for Powell in front. Shot, score! Rob Kavovit, the co-captain and senior from Yorktown Heights. A whistler, no angle at all it seemed, and he burned Sanderson.
No angle is right. Check this out. There's the ball behind. He's barely in front of the goal mouth. I mean, that angle is something else. It's Kavovit. Watch, bang. So Powell Ryan gets the ball to Kavovit Rob, and goal results.
They score a goal.
That's right.
12-10 game now. 20 seconds hard. A backflip pass. Very lucky UVA is able to get that. Drew Melchione scoops it up right at midfield. And Virginia maybe chance for one last possession and score. Knight behind the cage, thinking about possibly a timeout. 8 seconds left, yes. Timeout for Dom Stark's team, 20-seconder. And they will talk over this last possession with 8 ticks to go in the first half of play.
Dom Starks is saying, you know, if we can get one here, it's going to go give us a big boost going into halftime. I know they got a 2-goal lead, but a little bit of momentum maybe shift with that Kavovit goal. So let's get a good shot off with 8 seconds.
Stars a 5th year at UVA with a 47-16 record in Charlottesville. 14th overall, though, coached at Brown for many years. 101-46 at Brown.
One of the best-liked coaches, too. A very nice guy, straight shooter.
Talk about the goalies. See Rob Kavovit with a big goal a moment ago. Coach Starger was very concerned about Chris Sanderson playing in the Dome for the first time because the backdrop is so unusual.
Yeah.
It takes at least a half to get used to it. It seems he's adjusted pretty well.
Yep, he is. He's gotten stronger as it's gone along, and the left-hander has been able to come up with some saves where early they got to him a little bit and they were going high on the offside. So Sanderson perhaps settling down. He's got a 2-goal lead. Ball off on the side by the goal mouth with 8 seconds, goes behind.
Final ticks of the first half. Good feed. McKnight drives in, scores! Drew McKnight. Good feed from behind. As Knight works the ball to him, just 2 seconds left in the half, and a couple of Wahoo fans from down in Charlottesville coming up here.
Just all by himself. He stepped in. He wasn't all by himself, but he made a good move. And he was just McKnight, not see right there. He's by himself. He took a left-handed shot. You got to stay in front of him. You can't let him penetrate. McKnight, second point, first goal for tonight, and that was a big one. Now Syracuse down by 3.
Another freshman from Dom Starger's team. Wow, they're loaded with young players. Syracuse has 18 freshmen this year on the roster, but UVA looking good with their youngsters from Virginia Beach. He's 1-1, and Dom Starger's team into the locker room with a 3-goal lead. We've got halftime stats and highlights coming your way. A packed house at the Dome enjoying a great season opener here on Super Sports Virginia. 3-goal lead. More coming up. Welcome back. Beginning our third quarter play at the Carrier Dome here on Super Sports Virginia. 3-goal lead on number 3 Syracuse. Dave Ryan with Dale Drypolcher. Dale, we knew it would be an exciting game. We anticipated thrilling, wild, end-to-end play. We've gotten that so far.
Basic shootout, you know, and it's going to be, I guess, maybe who's going to score last, I guess. A lot of good action, though, no doubt about it.
First quarter started off certainly in a flurry for Virginia, and Doug Knight, a great player to watch all night long. 4 goals already for him.
Well, you picked him out early. He's going to get one here from Watson on an assist, and watch this. Right in front of the Syracuse goal, and he just is a super player, and as you said, 4 goals already this evening. Carcaterra comes back, ties it at 9-9 with a nice shot on Sanderson. Got him a little upset, but this last one was kind of a killer. Watch the time in the bottom there, 2 seconds left, and Knight scores, and that gave them a 3-goal lead. So Syracuse perhaps lost a little momentum there. Let's look at the stats, Dave.
The numbers, certainly the first one, Dale, sticks right out at you. Shots at 40-22 UVA.
Absolutely, and the face-offs too, 16-8. They got a bulge there of about 5 minutes when they controlled 3 or 4 face-offs in a row, got a goal or two out of it, and Syracuse seemed to lose a little bit of momentum, but there's a lot of game left, and as we said, the way these teams have been playing, just about anything can happen. I think that Gebhardt's been doing a good job. I think the close defense has not been bad for Syracuse. They've got their work cut out for them. They got to start off by getting some face-offs.
Roy Simmons Jr. will break the huddle for the Orangemen, down by 3 goals. Meanwhile, Virginia on the road, trying to win its second game in its second outing at the Carrier Dome. I mentioned in '95, they shellacked Syracuse, stopping a long 20-plus game win streak that year. 15-7. Chris Sanderson, 7 saves, Dale, in the first half.
Yeah, they went at him offside high a number of times. 5 in a row they were high on the offside, and Jason Gebhardt got 9 saves, but they have peppered the man with shots. So let's see what they can come up with here as Hart is still out there for Virginia on the faceoffs, but Syracuse not quite yet.
Tim Burns battling up faceoff for the Orange along with Alexander. Still no possession.
Now it's possession.
Finally comes away to Abrams, long stick, the freshman. They'll bring into the offensive end and then wait for help.
Yeah, he's going to yell.
They'll
Somebody
get it off
get
to
this
a
ball.
short stick. Co-captain Carcaterra works up ahead for Rob Kavovit. He had a great goal toward the end of the half. Scoop pass to Casey Powell. Equal with the goal line. He'll bounce it right back out. Caillon, Matt Caillon, number 16, looking for his first Syracuse goal, scores! A whistler from the left wing. High shot again on Sanderson. It's a 2-goal game.
Once again, let's see. You're going to see Caillon just make a move right. See the break? Not on his stick. Let's see where it goes. It goes right up over the head, almost in the middle of Sanderson on the left-handed shot. Looked like he might have gotten his stick on it, couldn't hold it, and Caillon comes up with his first goal. So Syracuse back to within 2.
First of his career. Face-offs way up on UVA. 16-9. Burns, the freshman, battling for Syracuse. And possession to Virginia again. Melchioni scored once in the first half. Brings into the offensive end with Knight, as we mentioned in the highlights. 4 goals. Attackman of the year in '96 for good reason. We're seeing why firsthand. Tucker Radaball choking up on the stick with his cradle. Looks back for David Curry, and they'll settle down to the offensive end. Seeing some great passing, crisp play from Virginia. And Dale, rarely a mistake in the offensive end. Watson driving in. Quick shot, low to high. On Jason Gebhardt, it's over the cage. Quick release from Michael Watson. He is dangerous. McKnight scored just 2 seconds and a half. Back to Watson, thought about a shot. Now a left-hander instead of pass. Goes for Knight, one-time play for Curry. And Syracuse, good defense. Harvey Sacred on long stick. Radabah, a pass, not a shot. Thought about it, though. And McKnight behind the goal. Long possession. Tucker Radabah has a step on his man. Bouncer save. Gebhardt got enough of that one going low. David Curry battling with Volan.
Got to get some help out there for Volan. He's out there by himself trying to get the ground ball.
And it looks like a push perhaps on Burns. That'll be the call against Syracuse.
But you got to give number 41. He did a great job. Sam Volan really stayed after that. He was the only guy in a white shirt out there. Watch him, still hustling, and finally gets some help. But you can see the push there, by the way, at the end.
Radabah for Watson, now again in the offensive end.
Oh, that's a
low
ward.
pace, double team. Watson has someone wide open, but it's broken up, and Gebhardt's got it.
Nice outlet.
Outlet goes right to Syracuse, and the Orangemen will bring it across. Ryan Cummings. Defensive midfield.
Brought a guy with him
Good move
there.
to keep the ball on his cross. He'll head off the field. Cummings got a big brace in that left knee from a prior injury. Carcaterra is on the field as well. Kavovit driving in. Rob Cavo, as they call him, spins and shoots. Broken up. Good defensive play made. As they're coming right back on him and collapsed.
Yeah, that was Mahoney.
Right, Mahoney on long stick. Number 20, in front they go. Bouncer.
Low shot.
That's Doyle getting his first field time of the game. Matt Doyle was one of the top attackmen for SU a couple years ago. Had a severe right knee injury.
Severe.
And had to miss most of one season in '95. Came back last year, though. Watson on Vanderpool. Good feed. Knight. Shot was high, but right into the cross of Gebhardt. Good save. Outlets to Ira Vanderpool. Double team and Tripp lost the ball.
There's a late flag.
And a late flag for a push. Yeah, we're going to anticipate that one. David Curry from behind and Watson were all over him. Actually, the hold is going to be the official call, technical.
Hold, push.
Whatever.
Yeah, you're going to see what happens here. Watch. You're going to see the shot and watch the save. Stick side, he just gobbles it right up. Keeps that from hopping out. He had a little couple of problems with the rebound, and they got the ball out to Vanderpool, and that's a real trip. That's a classic example. You don't generally see him get tripped with another person's leg, but it did, and Syracuse will only get 30 on that. They called it a push.
Technical push against Michael Watson, the star attackman, so good to get him off the field for Syracuse. Powell, low shot, goes for a laser beam play, and it's saved by Sanderson.
Syracuse now trying to collapse on the ball.
4 guys on Melchione, who somehow still has it left-handed cradle, finally poked away. But McKnight, far side, scoops it up.
I think they must have told Syracuse, you guys see that ball, you collapse on that guy and get some aluminum on him. Let's get the ground balls. Let's put the ball on the carpet. It's ours.
Penalty to Watson is over. Leahy helps control on the offensive end. And now Leahy will head off with Watson back on the field. Michael Watson, very dangerous feeding and scoring. We saw that one-time play tonight was probably the prettiest of the game. And one thing that we saw early in this contest, breakdowns by Virginia and a couple of foolish passes, things that got away from them, resulted in easy foul goals. They've really shored up on that end of it. Curry is free with a left hand for a minute. Good double team, though. Curry finds someone open, and Radabach, man wide open down low. McKnight, one-time play score, Watson! Watson on the feed. Bangs it home for a goal, and Virginia leads by 3. Watson is 2 and 3 on the night. What a score.
Syracuse being very aggressive defensively. They're jumping people. They made a great slide here. They make a jump here, but it's just not in time. He just gets the ball off, and it was just a super play by McKnight to feed that over there. And Watson came up with a goal, but McKnight did a great job of feeding it. Syracuse, though, being very aggressive, Dave. They're really going after the ball.
McKnight, his second assist, we saw him score just 2 ticks left in the half. And again, face-off 1. Again, it's Jason Hart. Watson feeding. McKnight tries a quick shot. Faked the pass, had 2 men open in Jason Hart and Doug Knight. And that one goes through. Syracuse, though, will be on defense again. D. Middies onto the turf for the Orange. Ryan Cummings will come on. Dangerous point of the game here, Dale. I'd imagine Virginia playing well with possession. They're winning face-offs and scoring on their chances.
You're right, and they can control the tempo. When they get that face-off, that's exactly what happens.
Jalbert had a big first half. He scored 3. Left-handed cradle. Backs in his man. Scores! Is it a goal and a penalty? That's the question. We saw a flag go. Yeah. Goal is good.
It'll be wiped out. It's
no penalty. Jalbert gets another one. Jay Jalbert, the freshman number 10, has got his 4th of the game, and Roy Simmons says, uh-oh, we're down 4.
Yeah, there's the move inside. He goes inside roll, definitely pushing, definitely a goal. You could see it. And the technical's wiped out by the goal. So just a beautiful move by Jalbert. 4th and a 4-goal lead.
He and Knight each have tallied 4 times Dale in the game. 10:09 in the 3rd. All of a sudden, Virginia's opened up a 4-goal lead, and the big key, look at the number. Syracuse can't get the ball back. Quite simply, here it is again. Jason Hart, triple team, comes away with it. Another Cavalier possession.
Well, that's one of the things that the only way you can counter that if they're coming up the face-off is you got to go for it and get that ball, knock him down, put it on the carpet.
Now McKnight will work for Doug Knight. Virginia looking to open up the lead again. Mueller had a goal in the first half, just a freshman. Mueller, good move on his man. Syracuse in a bit of trouble, back on their heels now with Drew Cyril, number 33, guarding Mueller. Right-handed cradle. Good feed. Virginia working the ball around the perimeter well. Dave Baruch is on number 24. Even their second line middies are excellent at ball control. Jalbert has 4 already. He's on Vanderpool. McKnight, left-handed cradle, got his man in and scores. Drew McKnight diving, beats Jason Gebhardt again, and the lead is up to 5. This huge crowd is silent.
Actually, he beats Josh Rule. You're right, he beats Gebhardt, but Gebhardt, there's nothing he can do about this.
Right.
When he gets that much room to operate, and Josh Rule lost him behind the goal, and when he makes the move, McKnight comes up with another 2-2 on the evening.
Drew McKnight's having a whale of a game. Just about everyone on the offensive side of the field is. Just a freshman from Virginia Beach. 5-goal lead. Can Syracuse win a face-off? I don't think they've done that in the second half. The Orange have not had any chances on Sanderson at all. Again, they win it. And it's the freshman from CNS, Jason Hart, doing a tremendous job. What a game in front of his hometown fans here of North Syracuse. He's actually from Bridgeport. He and his brother Casey, great careers under Tom Corey at CNS. Casey plays at Maryland, Baltimore County. Knight, one-time play. Curry goes through harmlessly behind Gebhardt.
See how quickly he got that shot off, though.
And Watson has the backup. Just like that, lickety-split. Here comes UVA again. Right-handed cradle, Watson backs in. Good spin move. Watson lost it, poked away momentarily. Syracuse all over him. Cummings just diving on him, trying to get the ball loose. Curry, top of the box. Good dipsy-do move. David Curry, left-handed cradle. Penalty flag down, scores! David Curry, left-handed laser beam from the wing. He beats Gebhardt. Another goal for Virginia. And the pride of Virginia is flying tonight at the Dome.
And they're going to get a slash, too, so they're going to be man up to add insult to injury. So Syracuse not able to get the face-off, and you can see the momentum and the ability to control has been all Cavaliers in this second half. And Syracuse is going to be man down. I think they're going to take a timeout.
Wisely so, Dale, down by 6, just being peppered as Jason Gebhardt and the Syracuse defense, as you pointed out. Not all Geb's fault, certainly, the way the defense is broken down in front of them. We mentioned close defense was going to kill Syracuse tonight if they couldn't stay with the high-scoring Cavaliers it has.
Well, you know, and again, I think they're getting I don't want to say desperate. I think they're getting more aggressive. And what happens is when you do that, if you double and you get beat in a double, now there's somebody open. And what happens, I think, is that the Cavaliers are taking advantage of that. They're one of the only 5 teams ever to win here in the Carrier Dome, and that's quite a compliment to them. And they got a 6-goal lead now. There's a lot of game left. But Syracuse not able to get a face-off, and this whole tempo has gone Cavalier in the second half.
And speaking of the number 5, they lead the series 5-2 right now. This is the 8th meeting between these two teams. Virginia's done very well for the most part. That loss in '95 in the semifinals was a bad one, but right now Coach Donahue and the Orange have really got to rally. Don't forget, coming up on Super Sports Cable 13 Sunday, March the 9th, 7 o'clock is the airtime for Yale and Syracuse lacrosse, as the Orange, well, hopefully for Roy Simmons' team, will not look to bounce back from a loss. They've got a long way to go, though, down by 6. NCAA lacrosse comes your way in Super Sports, 8 games this year for you.
Face-offs, again, we're going to give you that number, 20-9, and they have had a number of them in a row, which really takes the momentum. And, you know, as you said, put a lot of pressure on Gebhardt. As in most sports, as a goalie, sometimes you're only as good as the guys in front of you. And, you know, when you're by yourself there, it hurts, whether it's soccer or...
And I don't want to say desperate either, but he's got Marshall Abrams' long stick on face-off. Penalty flags drop. Finally, Syracuse, the ball in the offensive end. Powell, burst of speed, looking for space to squeeze off a shot. He's triple-teamed his right, hangs onto it. And now we've got ourselves...
Yeah, there was a penalty before. He had to, when he went out of the box, it stops it.
Stops play, right. There was a call against Virginia. It's a push call, 32nd against the Cavs. Casey Powell and the Orange just relieved to have the ball on the offensive side of the field. One of the only times that's happened in the first, well, nearly 7 minutes, 7+ minutes here in the second half.
You know, you really, as a goalie, you really have to have a thick skin. And, you know, you try not to show any emotion. And, you know, Sanderson a couple times has let it go a little bit. But Hart is, you know, that's probably one of the few things he's done wrong tonight.
What
Maybe
a
just
game
needed
he's
a break. I think I'll push somebody and give myself a break.
Now Sanderson will face the SU attack, which to this point has really been held in check in the second half. Orangemen were down by 3 at the break on a late goal by Drew McKnight. And has been all Virginia in the second half, opening up a 6-goal lead.
I believe Syracuse has a couple of man-up goals.
2 for 5, you're right about that, on the money. Powell, right-handed cradle. Ryan Powell looking for his first goal as an Orangeman. Casey scores on the bouncer. Casey Powell trying to ignite a Syracuse comeback. That's the way to do it. 5-goal deficit. They're still down to UVA.
Not a big deficit if you can get some face-offs, and you're going to see what a nice high bouncer that was. Offside again. Powell 2 and 3 on the evening as he takes the right-handed high bouncer, and Sanderson off the stick side. Now it's going to give him 3 and 3. 3 goals, 3 assists. So kind of an auspicious beginning for Casey Powell. 6 points.
On attack again, where he
Dishing
played
out
all
the
through.
assist. Nice.
That's right.
You know, really, that's great.
First team College USA lacrosse preseason for Casey Powell. Still way down in the face-off department. Trying a long stick in Marshall Abrams. It worked last time. Push call, though, against Syracuse. Abrams in the orange denied this time.
You know, that long stick, it's you know, if you're going to get beat out there in the wing, and you want to have the long stick on there, and if you do get the ball, you can give it up. So they've used it a couple times. There's that fast shot.
Quick shot. Didn't take long for Melchione to give it right back to UVA. Drew Melchione rips off a rocket, and no chance for Gebhardt to make the stop.
This happened so quickly. We just got it. Saccharin, the guy I don't think got on Melchione. He's got 2 goals and an assist on the evening. So this is becoming a high-scoring affair. I can't remember the last time Syracuse gave up 18 goals in a game. I know they gave up 17 when they played Virginia a couple of years ago here.
Syracuse has made the double-figure mark, as we've noted. That's the 57th time in 60 games that the Orange have at least scored 10. They win a face-off here. Alexander streaking in. Left-handed shot goes wide. Matt Alexander bidding for his first goal. Right off the face-off, former Wildcat from West Genesee makes a good play. Won a state title a couple years back. Not a good play. Doyle, the Cavett, way too high, and a turnover. Boy, that's the last thing Rob Cavett, the co-captain, wants to see. Down by 6 goals.
Well, you just got to suck it up, get back, and play extra hard on defense.
Every possession counts now in a game like this, where they're going blow for blow.
You know, it's like sending blitzing the cornerback or something. You've got to really take some chances of, well, a lot of time, but when you're not getting the face-offs, you really have to go after that ball when you can.
Imagine we're pretty close to a record crowd for a regular season game here at the Dome. We'll get those numbers from Syracuse Information Department, Sports Information. And they have fallen very quiet here. Great dipsy-do move in the open field by Cummings. Got away from traffic. Ryan Cummings trying to electrify the crowd here and get them back into the game.
Yeah, you don't want to do it too quickly. Wait till you get all your people. And he had 2 offensive middies coming in. Took his time, got him in.
And Tim Glisker back on along with Ryan Cummings. He'll go to Kataya. Former Homer Trojan star, Matt Kataya. Top of the box. To the left hand he goes. Squeezes off a shot. Good save, Sanderson. Looks for the quick outlet. Gets that to Radabov. Bit too far for Tucker Radabov. It comes tonight. Ground ball play again, important for UVA. Quick feed, Radabov. Quick shot, scores! What a feed from the wing, and he makes it count. Tucker Radabov, the sophomore from Glenarm, Maryland, rips home another UVA goal.
Just a nice pass, and not able to get stick on stick again. It's tough. These guys are getting good, clear shots. Now, Gebhardt's got to be upset with himself. He probably figured he could have tracked that one down, but he has seen so many of those balls in him tonight. Tucker Radabov comes up with his second. They have spread the scoring out. The Cavaliers got a lot of people. When you got 19 goals in the third quarter, there's a lot of people scoring.
Tucker Radabov in quite a family of lacrosse players. Brother was a captain, Danny, at Maryland. Here they go again in the offensive end. Knight bouncer. Got a little bit of the pipe. Rebound loose. Almost trickled in, and Gebhardt able to make the play with his man right on him. Marshall Abrams almost knocked it into his own net. Gebhardt, luckily, with quick hands, scooped it up. Time is now for Syracuse. Badly need a big play to get the crowd back in it. Down by 7. Orange with a long stick in the offensive zone shot. And that one deflected. Chris McCartan took it.
A lot of attention on the goalie.
Sure
out.
is. Sanderson way out of his own cage and crease. And here comes UVA the other way, though. Led by Carl Zeller with a long stick. Off for Tommy Smith. Tiptoes to the sideline in the offensive end. Tommy Smith poked away nicely by Keown. And Ira Vanderpool at midfield tries to bring out. Here comes Keown now to the offensive end. Right-handed cradle, fires off a quick shot. Sanderson made the initial save. Cavett poking at the rebound. Ball's loose. Official will blow the whistle just outside the crease. And a push call against Virginia. Syracuse gets it.
You talk about a fast sport and fast action, Dave. You can't imagine that. You know, people who don't see a lot of lacrosse, if you see this, you've got to be amazed at the ability of these athletes as they up and down the field. Just a tremendous sport to watch.
Doug Jackson on the right side with 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Starts play off. He's got Casey Powell with him. The Orange really need their frontline offensive players on the field. Doug Jackson, dipsy-do move at the goal line. Jackson trying to create space. Now double team, someone's free. Off for Cavett. Left-handed cradle, shoved by Mahoney. Cavett in with a one-hand play. Rebound loose. Powell scores! Casey Powell on the rebound. Knocks it by Sanderson, who made a great play to stop the initial shot. Powell burns him in the end.
Just like in hockey, when you make the initial save, it's not enough, and you're going to see him come back up over the head. And Powell, nice job. 4 and 3 on the evening. As he just gets that rebound, takes a little jump shot right up over the head of Sanderson, and Syracuse down by 6.
And what footwork you saw in the replay from the end zone camera to move his legs in midair and stay out of the crease. That was a tremendous effort. Something that kind of goes unnoticed. Virginia's doubled up the Orange on faceoffs.
Ran up on the faceoff, loses a rare faceoff so far.
And Alexander comes away with it for the Orange. Into the offensive zone, fans looking for something to cheer about. Alexander a swipe at it. Syracuse trying to hold on to possession, however, they'll lose it. That would have been a big play also to try to pull within 5 and get the crowd on a roll.
Yep. You can see the box, the substitutionary, people coming in, coming out. A lot of lacrosse is playing a little chess game on who picks up the short stick mini, who picks up the long stick guy, getting him in and getting him out. Offense to defense right now. Offense goes to Virginia, Dave.
And they'll bring in the offensive end and set things up, but they've been so potent. Patient passing attack around the perimeter, and then really piercing the Syracuse defense, which has been taking chances. And I imagine you lose patience, Dale, on defense when you can't get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're young, yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens. You lose patience. Right now, there's a lot of time left, 3:55 in the third quarter, but you want to play good defense, but not reckless defense.
Radabov for Wren. Top of the box, good spin move. Trying to get by his man Wren, still has it. Somehow in possession, penalty flags down. Wren fires off a shot after he'd been crushed down to the turf from behind. And we'll sort it out. Devin Ackerman, number 26 on long stick, maybe the guilty party with a hold.
Yeah, just going to call him a hold. Watch, there's right set. That's a Ward. See that what he did with his free hand? And then I think they were a little frustrated there. And then that's a neck hold. that's a neck stretcher. So they'll go down for 30.
Virginia, another opportunity to increase the lead. Ackerman in the box for 30. Wren for Knight, he has 4 goals. Bounce pass behind the goal. Radabov, shot and a big one from Curry, save. He went high and was able to make the play. Nice grab by Gebhardt. Wilson helps bring in the offensive end now for Syracuse. He'll head off the field. Orangeman on the attack. Syracuse coming in, quick shot, score! Rob Cavett beats Sanderson with another goal. The senior co-captain sends this crowd into a frenzy. 5-goal game.
5 goals, lots of time. Cavett, a little bit of momentum changer perhaps as he gets that high shot once again on Sanderson. So Cavett, 3rd goal. And now this is where you gotta cash in on this one. You gotta see if you can't get this face-off. Well, there's no face-off man out for Syracuse. They could lose possession here.
Kutaya's gonna head out quickly, Dale, to get in position. 3:15 to go. Face-offs, big-time Virginia advantage.
They're going to delay a game. Yeah.
We're not set. Casey Powell's out of position also.
They were trying to put Powell up on the wing, and they're going to lose a face-off by default.
Casey is having words with John Desko heatedly now on the SU bench. Here they come. Knight, one-time play from Watson, worked so well in the first quarter. Regain though. Melchione has got it. Top of the box. He'll reset. Patient play again. Watson on the left wing. Syracuse close the fence, trying to collapse on him and Knight. Not been easy. One-time feed play. Melchione with a quick shot. Ripped right on Gebhardt, who made a nice save. Drew Melchione was wide open.
They lost Melchione on a pick, and he got free, Dave. Timeout, not timeout, a horn here. Officials let him get in. Gebhardt, 13 saves.
Matt Alexander back on the field for Syracuse. Melchione will come out along with Curry for Virginia. And Mueller's back out for the Wahoos, as they are known, one of the nicknames, along with Dave Baruch, a freshman, number 24. Knight for Watson. Dangerous, dynamic duo on attack. Baruch on the right side. Works for Watson. In the offensive zone, Patience. McKnight shot a score, but first a whistle.
You can't do that.
You got that right. A moving pick is going to go against Virginia. Wave off the goal.
It's actually not a moving pick. It's interference, but that's basically, if you're a basketball fan, it's a moving pick. You'll see it right here. Watch him step in front. Just let me screen you off here and keep screening you off.
Now the Orangemen try to bring it out on the clear attempt. They free a man. It's Andy Sheretz. Comes into the offensive end. Sheretz a little bit of playing time in the first half. Seen a lot of him. He'll quickly scamper off.
Had the fans up for that one, didn't they? Throw it, they were yelling.
Glisker comes on for Syracuse. Casey Powell at the goal line. Behind the cage. Goes clockwise. Good move. Syracuse again with Doug Jackson very quick on the left side. Under 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Lead is 5 for UVA. Good look from the end zone. And loose in front. Kutaya tried to scoop it up before he actually had the ball possession. Push called. Play on will go against Virginia. Syracuse gets the ball with $1:33 left in the quarter.
Nice look right there over the back of Sanderson.
Orange start things off. Good feed, goes to Glisker, tries a one-time play with that 6'4" frame, got a piece of it, but it's off his cross out of bounds. And Virginia will get it right back with 1:24 to go in the third. Not hanging their heads totally yet, but they're down by a bunch, 5.
Yeah, they're fighting back. They're doing the job. There's the turnovers, pretty even turnover.
Goes right back to Radaba. Good give and go and an easy clear for Virginia. David Wren on the right side. Looking for a pick from Doug Knight. Wren has got a little space on Alexander's defender. Watson right behind the goal, and Virginia works in the offensive zone. Up by 5, looking to expand the lead. A minute to go, third quarter. Wren, a good move. Left side, quick shot. Gebhardt got enough of that one to make the stop. Ball loose in front. Comes right to the Orange, and they'll try to break it out.
Good speed.
Syracuse with a long stick. Look to get it out of there. Chris McCartan, nice job.
McCartan, yes. Couldn't see his number for a minute. Did a nice job. Good clear.
Ryan Powell, offensive zone. Powell, quick shot, score! His first goal as an Orangeman. There it is. Mark it down. 33 seconds left in his first game. Third quarter, it's a 4-goal contest, and the fans love it.
That was a nice time to have the goal. Just
check that. You know it's Cummings. It's not Ryan Powell.
Cummings.
Let's check that. 7 and not 1.
Yep.
First goal tonight for Cummings.
It is his first goal. But you know, McCartan did such a nice job of getting the ball down the sideline there. It really made a big difference and was able to give Syracuse that opportunity.
33 ticks to go. Face-offs still the big edge for Virginia. Alexander a spin, gets possession. 28 seconds and counting. Alexander streaking in. Shot on Sanderson. Rebound loose in front. Cavett swipes at that one, and Sanderson able to scoop it back up. Long outlet pass. Virginia looks to break in the other way. Just 10 seconds left. Remember what they did at the end of the first half.
I was just going to say, they want to avoid that at all costs.
Watson, right-handed cradle controls. Michael Watson backing in. Scores! What an effort by Watson. Oh, wait, do we have a late wave off? Yeah, crease violation with 1 second left. Late call against Watson and the Cavaliers. And remember that one as being possibly very pivotal. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. Looked like he released the shot before there was any contact. Very tough to tell.
Yeah, I mean, the ball's got to be in the goal before anything touches. It's tough to, they don't see it that slowly.
So Watson will go to the fourth quarter, still with a lead of 4 goals. One more quarter to go of exciting action. Stay with us right here on Super Sports. Welcome back, everyone. 19-15 game here on Super Sports. Dave Ryan with Dale Drypolcher. Very exciting finish to the third quarter.
Yeah,
we saw
right.
Ryan Cummings, not Ryan Powell. Had the first name right.
That's right.
Anyway, sorry about that for Ryan Cummings. Getting a big goal his first of the year. Number 7 and not number 1. But nonetheless, 4-goal game and a big win of the faceoff. Melchione regains for Virginia to Watson. Tries the behind-the-back feed. McKnight off the pipe. What a break for Syracuse. McKnight, sweeping shot. Got nothing but iron. And Casey Powell double team. Trying to get through traffic, he does. On the right wing with a streak of speed. Powell comes on in. Fans on their feet. Score! Oh my goodness, what a move by the Carthage Comets. He scores to make it a 3-goal game. How do you like that, Casey Powell? Wow.
If you can hear it in the background, they are really excited to do them. Just your basic run-of-the-mill behind-the-back Gary Gates shot. Just a perfect placement, 5 and 3. 8 points for Paul. Quite a debut, and that was quite a shot. More importantly, it brings them to within 3, and they are just going after the face-off, Dave. Big difference. Those wing guys are crashing on the face-off and coming up with a wing, and that's exactly what happened there.
Vanderpool gets the ball. Hard loses a face-off finally for Virginia. Ira loses the handle. He's double-teamed. He's hit hard and high, and a whistle late. Push call against the Cavaliers. Syracuse gets it back. Melchione does not like that call against his team. Momentum has definitely shifted, and the place going crazy on that goal from Powell.
Yeah, that's a push. That's from behind. And then he fouled off with a hand to the head. So they're going to tell the assistant coach there to be quiet as we look at this. Look at this attendance.
Wow. I knew it was a big number.
10-3-2-8.
Great regular season crowd. What an opening crowd. Far over the average from last year. Vanderpool in trouble. Triple team, lost the handle. Costly possession, tries to regain on a poke check, can't do it. Great job keeping it in. Dave Baruch, the freshman. He's hammered along the sideline. Slowest penalty against Syracuse. McKnight, they work for Watson. One-timer stopped by Gebhardt in the defense before it even got to Jason. And now the penalty will go against Syracuse for a push.
Yep, technical going to be 30. Let's see where it occurred after the... Yeah, that was it. A little bit out of bounds, a little bit late. Keown down for 30.
Freshman from Yorktown High School. So just a minute 10 into the fourth. Momentum switching right back now, especially if they can score. But look at the numbers, not good with a man advantage. 0 for 6. The donut so far. Radaball behind the goal. Curry was broken up. Comes to David Curry. Spins away. Push from behind. Great play on defense. Syracuse will get it back. Devin Ackerman with a great play to get it for the Orange. Powell trying to beat his man to the ball. Sanderson out of the crease. It's still wide open. Someone's got to get the ball to it. Syracuse spinning in the offensive end. The long stick. The shot is wide. Sacred put it on. He was hit from behind. The fans love it. Arby Saccharin waves to the huge throng of 10,000. Dom Starzer quickly has got to watch the action again. Powell. The shots piling up. One of the men in front. Score! Rob Kevin on a feed from Casey Powell. It's a 2-goal game. Buckle up, everyone. This is going to be a great finish. 13:06 to go.
They have been much more aggressive in this half. Nice pass. Triple teamed. Down, low, up high. Kavovit, just a super job. 4 goals, and that's it. No assists for Kavovit. But Syracuse...
5 goals, 4 assists for Casey Powell. What a breakout game, returning to attack for the junior All-American. Face-offs are evening up, but Virginia wins a big one. Hard comes away with it, and at least momentarily quiets down this huge crowd. It was really on the verge of explosion all night. Watson driving in, leaping, crease violation against Watson. No question about that one. And SU gets the ball back.
He tried to force that one. I don't think that was a good move.
Rung his cross right off the goal and off the crossbar.
Oh, that
Howe
was tough.
cannot handle it. Bounce pass.
Poor pass.
Yeah, Melchione grabs it right back for Virginia, and they'll get another possession. Leahy, lob pass behind the cage. McKnight back for Knight. Drew McKnight works on Volan. And bring in Jalbert, who has burned the Syracuse defense all evening.
It's a picture. He always comes in and motions for the ball as soon as he comes in out of the substitution
He's
area.
free, he shoots,
pipe.
and that either got the
Syracuse
pipe
ball.
or it sure did. Barely got a piece of the pipe. The net actually rippled a bit on that shot from J. Jalbert. Take a look.
Yep.
Wow, right off the
rocked
pipe,
it.
and it rocked it.
He rocked
the goal. 14 saves, and the goalie's best friend, the pipe behind him, making sure a 20th Virginia goal didn't go through. Now a little bit of pressure defense for Virginia trying to prevent a clear. The Orange
Send over.
easily
Big stick.
across.
They want to get rid of that, though.
Going with a big stick to Kavovit. Watched by McCarty. They'll try to set things up. Rob Kavovit. Spin move. Senior co-captain from Yorktown Heights. Still has possession. Another spin with a right-hand cradle. He has been tremendous tonight. He and Powell just been unbelievable to watch. Kataya, top of the box, gets a pick from Lisker. Lost it momentarily. Kataya driving. Shot goes through. Good backup from Jackson. And Syracuse still has the ball.
With 11:29 left, there's been 36 goals scored in this game.
We knew it would be wild. We predicted that at the top of the show. I don't think to
Twice this wild.
Yeah. Roy Simmons Jr. has seen his share of these games. He knew he'd have it with Virginia. Expected a track meet, plain and simple. Said that before the game. Powell, a little bit of freedom. You can't give him that. Switches hands. Kataya rips a shot that goes through and wide. And he's disgusted at himself because he had a lot of space to work with. Room to shoot about 15 feet away. 2-goal Virginia lead. Been up by as many as 6 in the second half. Doug Jackson backs in at his man, lost possession. DJ regains, then gets a pick. Jackson still with it. Right-handed cradle to Kataya.
Good defense by Zeller, 34.
Close defense has been all over the Orange. It's really the unsettled situations where they've scored. Kavovit driving in. Kavovit still with it. Left-handed try. Couldn't come away with the ball loose. Kataya regains. It's unsettled again. Wide. Oh, it went away after a save. Doug Jackson ripped the shot right on, and Sanderson got enough of that one. Boy, he had plenty of time to crank and whistle one with a right-handed shot. Look at the pile of shots we've been trying to describe for you tonight. I'm exhausted looking at that number.
That's right. It's a tough number to take, isn't it?
Powell. This is Ryan Powell. Penalty flag down against Virginia. Goes to Kavovit, and we will have a man-up situation. Technical 30-second holding call against UVA.
You're going to look at how high he gets up on him. Up on the neck, that's Wingrad. And then I'll just zip you on the nose on the way by.
He's in for half a minute.
So Wingrad down for 30, Syracuse up for 30.
10:29 left, fourth quarter. Syracuse trying to cut to a 1-goal lead for Virginia. So far, a third of their chances have gone through. Syracuse would like to increase it here. Kavovit, quick, sharp angle shot. May have rung off either post or the side of the goal. Jackson was there as well. Sanderson makes the play. Now outlet and bring the other way now. Virginia trying to work it and take some time off that violation.
Got man coming in from the bench, open.
Man wide open in McKnight if they can find him. Virginia carrying in, shot goes just wide. Good driving play made by Melchione. Drew Melchione with a great effort.
Nice job by Gebhardt to get out and get that ball.
Now SU on a clear. Vanderpool lost it on the ground. Ball comes right to his teammate in Keone. Keone the other way. Right-handed cradle being pushed. Quick pass in front. Kavovit scores as he's being decked. What a play by the senior co-captain. 1-goal game. Kavovit
was a great feed by Keone. Watch. There it is. Just hit him right where the stick. You hold the stick out, you make a target, and he put the ball right on it. Right there. What a finish off on that play by Kavovit as Keone, the freshman out of Yorktown, fed it perfectly, and Syracuse crawls to within one, 19-18, and they're going after the faceoff. It is a brawl out there in the faceoff circle.
And Virginia comes away with it. Cavaliers and Hart charging in the offensive zone.
Oh, big
Good
save
play by Gebhardt on Jason Hart. Long outlet pass. Comes right for Powell. With a move to the right-hand shot. Powell charging in. Scores! Casey Powell does it again! He has scored one more time for the Orange. His 6th of the game. Give him 10 points. What a game for Casey Powell.
Casey Powell gets his ball. They're going to play on him. Here's the save. Starts with a save. Gebhardt, great outlet pass. He hits Powell. It's a sprint the whole way. Kavovit clears out for him. He clears out, and then bang. He goes offside. Casey Powell with his 10th point. 6 goals, 4 assists.
Wow. 9:16 and counting left.
Withholding the ball from play, going to give the ball to Virginia.
Virginia gets it. Coach John Desko, assistant for Syracuse, nearly jumped out of his sneakers on the sideline when he
John will do
saw
that. John
call.
will do that, yeah.
Radabaugh into the offensive end, trying to calm things down for Virginia. Suddenly it's tied.
Yeah, we scored 20, we lost.
In this track meet on this surface, it's possible. Virginia's night has been shut down in the second half. Curry shot scores! David Curry rips a high laser beam over the shoulder of Jason Gebhardt. 20th goal against Roy Simmons' team.
I think it's first one to 21 wins. Nice defense.
Not ping pong.
Yeah, right. Gets the ball off and just a tough shot. What's he, 3-3?
Third goal.
Yep.
Doug Knight, another assist for him. Give him a total of 6 points, 4 and 2 for Doug Knight, who's lit up the Orange again.
How many soccer games would you have to go to see 39 goals scored?
It'll take you several seasons, let me tell you that. Tim Burns helps win the face-off for Syracuse, and a big one to try to tie it up again. Tommy Smith on Matt Kutaya. A couple Central New Yorkers work against one another. Kavovit, far side. Syracuse has the substitute. Glisker comes in off the bench. Doug Jackson. See the Orange on a big-time run. They have come right back in this game, down as many as 6 in the second half. It seems all but buried.
As we said, you just got to get some of the face-offs in there. If they didn't get them out right, they contested every one of them.
Kutaya thought about a shot. Jackson will fire. Goes through. Back up by Rob Kavovit. And Syracuse gets the ball back.
They have been contesting every face-off. If they lose the initial draw, those wingmen have been crashing, and Syracuse have been fighting back. And now Kavovit one-on-one behind the cage.
Rob Kavovit now switches to the left-hand cradle. Gets a pick from Doug Jackson. A couple seniors. They've won national titles before here at Syracuse. Kavovit with a left-hand cradle. Watch closely on the play by Mahoney, Darren Mahoney. Look at the shots. Oh my goodness. 105 have been squeezed out. Glisker battling in front. Kutaya trying to get across on it. Virginia comes away. Here come the Cavs. Marching the other way. With a long stick, Virginia, the offensive zone. Watson feeds McKnight. In front, score, Knights! McKnight tonight. And Doug Knight puts it away for another goal. His 5th of the game. Great passing in the offensive end.
Just perfect passing when they got down around the cage. Started it all off by Wright getting the ball down, and then passed back. And McKnight just doing a great job of getting the ball down into Doug Knight. McKnight on a beautiful pass. So it's now back to a 2-goal lead, 21-19.
Big face-off for Syracuse, still no possession. Orangemen come away with it. Casey Powell, here he comes, streaking in. Casey Powell, the right-hand shot, checked from behind at the last second. What an effort by Virginia to get a piece of it. It was hard, he did it, but he feeds to Kavovit for another score. Oh, that combination is going to be something to watch in 1997. 20th goal for the game. Kavovit has got himself 6 goals on the night. Powell, 5th assist.
Casey Powell does a nice job. Look at Kevin wide open, and he does a nice job of hitting him. As we said, he's been doing it from both ends, playing defense, and he's giving Kavovit a nice assist. Kavovit picks up his 6th goal.
That is not a misprint from football.
That's
folks. Right. 21-20 lacrosse score. This has been an amazing game to watch. 10,000 plus on hand at the Dome tonight. Check out possibly the game of the year. Coach Starr said before the game, this is one that everyone in the college lax world was looking forward to, and he really has delivered on that promise.
Talk about your entertainment dollar.
Man, Deja Albert with it. He's had a great game, a freshman. Several first-year players for Coach Starja have been really quite amazing this game. Leahy is a sophomore from a West Jenny Wildcat to Watson. At the goal line, Watson poked away initially. Syracuse, good work with a long stick. Orangeman trying to stop Watson, poked away. And finally they do regain. Ackerman with a long stick. Devin Ackerman has got it. Long stick defensive midi, but a bad turnover. Right to McKnight. He scoots into the offensive end. They'll reset. Now Watson spinning. Michael Watson check from behind. Good play, Ackerman. Got just enough of that ball to get it away from him. Well, the Orange been very lucky there on a poor outlet feed. This is Ryan Cummings. Watched by Jalbert. Ryan Cummings being checked, being pushed. And that'll be a call against Jay Jalbert.
He might only get a push on this. Let's see what they give him. Yeah. I'll tell you, there's a lot of pressure on the referees here. I'll tell you why. It's a good look at the push. They don't want to make a call that gives somebody a game. They would rather have the players win it or lose it. Nice call there. Gave him a 30-second call for pushing. So, man up for Syracuse. 2 out of 7.
And Dale, we are nearing a record. Back in 1955, Syracuse and Rutgers combined for 42 goals.
Is that right?
We got ourselves 41 right here.
Jim Brown was probably playing then.
Probably was. Ryan Powell, his brother Casey. Syracuse patient now to set it up. Sharp angle shot, score Jackson. Doug Jackson with a quick release. And this game one more time is tied up. 3 touchdowns each. 21 all. Wow.
I can't believe, I thought it was on the outside. It was such a good shot. I mean, he hit it on the near side. That's absolutely amazing. Jackson 3-1. Nothing prettier than that. And good timing also as he ties it at 21.
In case you're wondering, the record for most goals scored in a game by Syracuse is 30. Back in 1977. So I'm not saying that's impossible with the pace we've seen today. Loose ball, no possession. Hard battling for it. Still no possession. Finally, it comes away to Virginia's Drew McKnight. On the right side, now to the left. Right-handed cradle. Back from David Wren. Patiently, they'll try to set it up. He's got David Curry back with him. Syracuse still in that man defense. Curry lost the handle. Good play. Casey Powell come away with it. Curry takes a swipe. Casey still got it. Chargers on in. Powell, a pass this time. Jackson with a sharp angle shot from the left side. As he's being decked, that's Carcaterre actually ripping it off.
Can Casey, I'm amazed at what he can do. He just plays all over the place. And now he's going to get the ball and he doesn't look tired.
Lister comes in. So again, Keone out there, number 16, his shot. Lister's wide to the right of Sanderson.
4:49 left and it's tied up 21-21. That's amazing.
Been fun to watch.
Absolutely.
So now the Orange reset. Lost stick. Jackson trying to take advantage. Crank, a pass in front, a fake, denied. Great play by Sanderson. Somehow stopped out. Kavovit in front. Who faked high, tried to go low. David Curry goes by Jackson, a late whistle. And a late penalty flag drop on a slash call possibly. So man up, upcoming for Virginia.
You got to be careful now. You've got to be able to make him get out, push him out of the box. Don't let him get a shot off.
Wren.
Something like that.
Syracuse trying to get him out. Keone cannot do it. Drew McKnight behind the cage. Now at the goal line. Drew McKnight. Still controls. Back for Doug Knight. Bowling on Knight. Doug Knight has had a great game against Syracuse so far. Curry, a quick shot. And it goes wide.
And they're going to give him a slash, yeah. Yep, they're going to give him 1 minute.
Ouch.
Yeah. There's the shots by quarters. Syracuse 15-7 in this quarter. And we're going to get a look at the penalty, but right now we're going to get a look at the push that made the ball go high, and Syracuse stopped the shot, and they're going to be a timeout now as
we all need a break here.
Yeah.
So Jackson in the box for another minute. I imagine we're getting pretty darn close to a record with all the shots we've had in this game as well. Look at the crowd on hand at the Carrier Dome tonight. What looks like a football score. Far from that. This is all lacrosse.
Almost a football crowd. Big crowd. Coach Simmons, what do you say? Guys, it's 1-1. We can win it, we can lose it. And you just got to stay focused. Don't make any stupid mistakes. The man down, we got to go up, but we got to play an aggressive man down a little bit here. We don't want to give him an easy shot. A little bit of Star Wars music in the background as you're going to see the, yes, you're going to see the tying goal. And that gave Syracuse their 21st and their tying goal.
Another record being set this game. Most goals given up by SU in a contest, breaks the old mark in 91, scored 19 by North Carolina.
And there's the line score. It's amazing.
To keep track of all this.
Yes. Syracuse winning the second half. Virginia winning the first half. It's a tie.
So 1 minute slashing call on Jackson to kill off now for Syracuse. Drew McKnight works for Watson. Back for Curry. Wren, man up so far, has been another failure for Virginia. About the only thing they haven't done well in this game. Crossfield pass, great play. Knight tries to score up high. Looks like another crease violation.
We'll have to fix the cage.
Yeah, as he goes right into the goal, charges into it. Gebhardt stopped him cold anyway.
Let's see, they're going to get a breakout here. Yeah, he wants some midfielders back to help out in this clear. He wants a short stick midi to handle the ball. And now they're going to give him, they told him way over on the side. The referee lets him know where to go. So now Syracuse doesn't want to mess up on this clear. That's why they got that short stick back. Long stick now has it on the wing.
Josh Rule, starting long stick, close defender for Syracuse. Up ahead, long feed.
Goalie out. Oh, slash on the goal.
Oh! Matt Katainen lost possession. Wren regains. 3:15 and counting to go, fourth quarter. What a game for the Dome tonight. We're tied at 21.
They had the goalie out playing
Watson
defense
to McKnight. Lost the handle. Drew McKnight. Powell with some contact got around Curry. Ryan Powell up ahead. Syracuse brings in. Orangeman on the charge. Broken up in the last minute. A lot of physical contact. Some pushing. And it looks like a big call. Right?
Another interference call. Tommy Smith came up with the ball, but someone picked off a Syracuse player, interfered with him in playing Smith, and that will cost possession for Virginia.
Good job by Matt Wilson. Young, number 21, bringing into the offensive end. Syracuse again on attack. Powell on the left side controls. Thought about a sharp angle shot on Smith. Powell spin, shoots, score! He has done it again! Can you believe number 22? Goal number 7 on the game. He has racked up 12 points in the game tonight.
And 12 points against a great opponent and a great man on him, Tommy Smith. You're going to see it on the replay. Rips that net hard. Syracuse goes up by 1, 22-21. Powell with his 12th point, his 7th goal.
You think he's happy to be back on attack? I would say so.
Look at him crashing here.
Push from behind off the faceoff. Ball loose. Now Keone looking to grab it. Still loose. Vanderpool diving. Burns trying to come up with it. He does. Has Vanderpool open, try to get it to him, but was checked just at the last moment. And Burns regains.
Timeout. Good timeout. Good timeout call.
Timeout, 2:11 to go, fourth quarter, 22-21. 10,328 at the Dome. Taking in a tremendous college lacrosse game tonight.
You know, when you give up 21 or 22 goals, your first team goalie's usually been out for about a half because they don't want him to stay in that long. It's usually a rout. This has been a great game from beginning to end. 22-21, Syracuse on top, 2:11 left. Largest crowd, regular season crowd. You couldn't pick a better setting, Dave.
Dom Starja is trying to stop Casey Powell as best as he can. But it's not easy. We have got him down now unofficially for 8 goals, 5 assists.
So he's up
13 points, which is a new Syracuse record. That would break the record of Timmy Nelson against Cortland. He had 4 goals, 8 assists back in 1984.
Shot 62, Virginia 52. Syracuse out shooting in the fourth, 17-7. But I think the big difference in the second half has really been Syracuse's wingmen crashing on the faceoff and really, I think, putting a little bit more enthusiasm into going after the faceoff. And it's resulted in them getting the ball and maybe losing the initial draw. They've done a super job, and this has just been a great game.
More record talk for you, Dale. Gary Gate and Greg Tarbell for Syracuse. Tarbell in 82, Gate in 88. Each had 9 goals in a game against Navy and Bucknell, respectively. That's the number for Casey now. It's officially 8 and 5. What a night for Casey Powell. Record-setting in points. 1 more goal, he'll tie a record. And Syracuse is up by 1 with a huge crowd on its feet.
2 goals could do it. 2-goal lead.
Powell with the ball.
Smith on him.
All-American on All-American left-handed cradle. Can he do it again? Looking for his 9th. Powell swings it around. Taya with a spin move. In the offensive end, Syracuse, plenty of patience here. No reason to rush.
Absolutely not.
Hit 44 and counting.
There's a
Taya charging in. Poked in the last minute, though. Ball loose. Katai regains, shoots. Bouncer goes through and wide. Wow. What drama.
The roof pulled down. Everybody sucked in their breath at the same time. I think the Teflon moved.
Is that what that was?
Yes. Whoa.
Kavovit will start play off. Mahoney is on him. Look at the run for Syracuse. 10 of the last dozen goals over 23 minutes. Rob Kavovit pushed from behind. Lost the ball initially. Virginia's looking for it. Far side, ball loose. They're going to get it. Look out.
Nice job by Mahoney.
LaRouche gets it, the freshman. On midfield with a minute 10 left. Syracuse desperately trying to get the ball away from Baruch. Jalbert is open. He's calling for it.
They got to get him up.
Left point.
He's going to take about 3 steps and fire.
Jay Jalbert not afraid to shoot. He's already scored 4 times. Under a minute left. Curry comes out of the field as well.
They're not sure who's going to take him. The short stick doesn't want him.
Jalbert controls. Right-handed cradle on Kurtaya. Jay Jalbert behind the goal. Virginia with Watson at the goal line. Fans now on their feet, 35 seconds left. Jalbert in traffic, double team, ball loose. Syracuse trying to get it out. McCartney cross on it. Finally the Orangemen get hit. Can they control is the question. Trying to clear it away. Ball is loose, 20 seconds. Wide open goal, Gebhardt's got it! He stops Melchioni. Outlet pass. Here comes Ryan Powell. Into the offensive end, Jackson. Down low, Kevin. A one-time play stopped. Oh, what a save. But Casey Powell regains. Just seconds left. It's all over. Syracuse knocks off number 2 Virginia. 22-21. What a game.
Unbelievable finish.
I'd say that's a pretty good night's work for that young man. The junior from Carthage looks a bit sore. I hope he's not too seriously injured, but he must be exhausted completely with a huge game tonight, 8 goals. When we come back, we'll wrap things up from the Dome. Huge, strong, thrilled Virginia back to Charlottesville. dejected. Our final from the Carrier Dome. Back in a moment. 22-21. Syracuse knocks off number 2 Virginia. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone. Dave and Ryan with Dale Drive Culture. 22-21 is our final in a thrilling game. We're joined by head coach Roy Simmons Jr. on the field. And coach, what can you say about an unbelievable effort? We are speechless and basically out of voice up here after a thrilling game. What's the feeling like in the sideline for you?
Well, it's great. You know, we haven't bested Virginia in a while. They took it away from us last year, the home opener, and back here 2 years ago in the Carrier Dome, they embarrassed us. So tonight, we showed great heart, great comeback, and never say die. We beat a great team. I can see that we're going to probably meet them again later this year.
It seemed to me in the second half, your kids really went out and contested the ground balls. When after the face-off, the wingmen really crashed. You got more opportunities and really cashed in on it.
We sure did, and I think the face-off meant a lot in the fourth period.
Did a great job. Coach, have you ever been in a game that had more emotion? He's gone now.
He's gone.
Yeah,
well,
I don't blame him.
Tremendous effort, certainly, for Syracuse.
Absolutely.
7 goals and 6 assists, the official number for Casey Powell, as he sets a school record for total points, and the Orange win. An incredible game.
I don't remember a game with more emotion here. I don't remember. I was going to ask Slugger. I do not remember a game with more emotion. Tremendous game.
Celebration time for Syracuse, and they will move up in the U.S. ILA rankings. A huge crowd of 10,300 plus enjoys a tremendous lacrosse game tonight. And you saw it here on Super Sports.